Hello, everybody, and welcome to Summit Esports League. My name is Gar Goomba, and joining me today is our lovely other co-host, Glovely. Nice to meet you.
Meet me. We've cast before
I
together.
don't know what you're talking about.
You're killing me here. Well, today we are here for the Summit Esports Premier League semifinals, and we're already into the draft. This is the Cyberbullies up against Asteria's Kittens. We're getting word that yes, we're gonna have to remake the draft. Hey, there we go. Now we
Oh,
can see each other.
oh,
Hello, everybody. So
hello.
yeah, as they're remaking the draft, let's just go ahead talk about how these two teams are set to match up against each other. What are we expecting to see in this matchup?
All right, to keep it really short and easy, basically we're looking into Cyberbullies trying to pull their lead through mid to easy, getting ahead just based off typical mid macro, as well as Brizz's return to hopefully, dominate their side of the top lane because even though they are a little bit rusty, being banned off of games for like 2 3 weeks in a row, uh, I definitely think they're eager to show off their stuff once again and stomp some people. But on the other side, uh, Asteria skins, they have a very strong bot lane in Asteria and Array, respectively. And depending on how much respect Cyberbully's bot lane is willing to put into them, things could get ugly real fast, especially with how strong ADCs are in this current meta. So, in
Well, it
my
looks like
opinion, I think it's a huge fight between whether or not the solo lanes for Cyberbullies are able to carry harder than the bot lane of Asteria's Kins.
the bans have been locked in. Udyr, Ash, and LeBlanc on one side. And then we have, God, I do not remember her name. I want to call her
That is,
Autumn, but that's not correct.
that is Aurora.
Aurora, thank you for the reminder. Aurora, I gotta remember, she's associated with the Freljord, Aurora Borealis. Aurora, Irelia, and Cassidon on the other side. Smolder is going to be picked up by the blue side. We're not sure which team is over on the blue. Let's get some clarification here. Asteria's
I
Kittens
believe
are on the
Asteria's
blue. Okay, and which
blue.
means the Cyberbullies are going to go lock in the Jinx as their first pick. And that is an Elise being hovered.
Elise
There
is
we go.
Jason. Wait, no, Jason isn't playing right now. That is OT Gators Elise, actually. Definitely one of his pocket picks, I'd say. I haven't really seen as many Elise games from him in recent times compared to last season, but I think his Elise is still really solid. I do like the Smolder first pick due to how flexible he is currently right now, and especially with how team play is going in the current meta. Smolder is just
Oh.
a really strong scaling pick. The Mordekaiser lock-in is pretty surprising.
That's a little bold there. I mean, it could potentially be a jungle Mordekaiser. Like Akko does play that champion in the jungle. Um, Usually we see it up in the top lane where it bullies a lot of champions. You know that R ability, the ultimate, take you to Brazil to isolate you from the rest of your team. Very powerful.
Oh,
And Bard is going to be the last pickup here. Roaming support. I love that champion.
I bet if Gamer D had any internet connection right now, he'd be popping off in his chair. But going off of drafts, it I like it a lot. Once again, Smolder very flexible, is able to either go bot, top, or mid. And because of the other picks that Stereo Skins have made so far, it's a pretty solid blind. Uh, I also like how Red's draft is looking right now for mid to late game scaling with the Jinx and Corki. I'm not exactly sure if Leighton is going to be going for the lethality jinx build that's been popping up recently, which, if you aren't aware of, is I believe collector, opportunity, and hubris. And it's basically supposed to just abuse the fact that Jinx has really high AD scalings on her abilities. And the collector pickup is a very easy way for Jinx to get, crit, damage, lethality, and then some extra gold if she gets snowballing.
Looking at the
Looking at
bans
these other
here,
bands,
Aatrox taken off the table, Lulu and Gragas as well. Leona is going to be quickly banned away as well. So two supports and two top laners. Just trying to get a little bit of that protection for your AD carry off of the field. One more ban here is going to come out for the or one more pick, pardon, for the Cyber Bullies before we hand it over to Asteria's Kittens for their last two. 10 seconds remaining. Let's see exactly what we'll see. We don't have a top laner. We're gonna go with a support, Soraka.
I do. Cyberbullies did call out the top lane bluff. They do think that there's a Mordekaiser jungle, which would make sense here. Uh, I do like the Soraka, especially for how much healing is going around for their team and how much they need to protect the backline. The Yasuo lock-in, if it goes through, is
Not
definitely a good
yet.
choice into Corki.
You don't have
If
any knockups though.
nah, you don't need it. Yasuo's pretty strong in the meta right now. Besides the Mordekaiser or pull, uh,
Okay.
Yasuo and a Corki is just really good, just because Corki is meant to harass people. But thanks to Yasuo having D Shield, Second Wind, and Fleet Footwork going in the current meta, he's just able to out heal in most of the lane before he gets in the mid game, where he starts, dumping on Corki because he has Wind Wall. And the
Yeah,
Renekton Hover is coming out and locked in for
they
Asteria's
locked the
Kittens.
croc. Let's go. Olaf is gonna be locked in on the other side as well.
Ooh.
Doesn't
What do
matter
you
how
think of
much
the
crowd
current
control you
balance?
have. I like the Olaf here. I'm not entirely sure about the lane matchup into the Renekton. Both of them can sustain for very long periods of time, and when Olaf gets going, it's scary. So I think I favor the Renekton early on at least. But I think the Olaf is actually a fantastic pick. It allows you to ignore Bard, it allows you to ignore Renekton and Yasuo, and like it is. I am going to beeline for your back line and blow you up. I think it's a great pick.
I get it, especially since Corki and Jinx are going to be in the back line as well, and they're going to be too distracted trying to kill the Olaf. I think it's going to be a good choice to, have the Olaf run down the Smolder as fast as he can before they can actually turn around and fight the back line. But at the same time, because Olaf is kind of the only front line on their team, if Asteria's Kittens play it right and, kill the Olaf out early, there's nothing really stopping the, Yasuo or the Renekton from running down their backline and killing them.
Yeah, not a lot of peel on that team composition, which it just it's which is why I think that you're right. I do think it is probably going to lean towards that lethality build, not just because like there's not a ton of tankiness on the other side. Like you'll have a little bit from the Renekton and the Mordekaiser, but you don't have like a dedicated tank champion on the other side of the map. So I do think that the lethality jinx is a lot more free than the auto attacking stuff that comes out of like your usual crit jinx, right? You're gonna have a lot more freedom to. You don't have to stand still to auto attack. You can fall back. You can spam abilities if you have to.
Right. Well, at the very least, I can't wait to see how this game goes. I don't expect too much to happen early game. Then again, the OT Gator Elise is trying to get a snowballing lead as fast as possible, because Elise kind of falls off if she isn't able to get her team ahead or herself. So, depending on how exactly the early game tempo for Cyberbullies goes, it could be a detriment. It could be a huge boon, though.
I do think that honestly, the Elise is a great pick, just given what they want to do. Like if we look at the teams that are up in this matchup, the Cyber Bullies really want to get their solo laners ahead, and a lot of that is going to be based on what your jungler can accomplish. So I would expect to see a lot of top side focus from OT Gator, a lot of like tower diving ganks, because Elise is so good at that in the early stages of the game.
Right. Well,
Uh,
as we wait for I am so sorry for interrupting you. Did you want to say something?
No, I was gonna say that I'm pretty sure the exact same thing you were going to, which is that we're gonna just take a moment to gather some snacks, collect ourselves, and take a few minutes while we load into the game. But until then,
We fat
stick,
baby. We got the Cape
stick.
Cod family size bag.
Oh
Let's
my
go.
God. We'll see you later.
welcome back, Summit Esports, to game one of, Cyberbullies versus Asteria's Kittens. I kind of blinked on the name, but that's okay. Joining me today is Glovely, and I am Gargoomba. And, we're ready to see some nice League of Legends action.
Yeah,
Do you have
Lovely
any,
and Gar
career?
here to we're calling the Esports League semifinals. Looks like the teams have already caught each other out. OT Gator in a bit of a rough spot is probably going to have to flash over the wall. Yes, flash expended. That is a big cooldown for the Elise.
That's pretty big. Especially for how much early game tempo Elise wants. Burning the flash early is really bad. So, good job on the Asteria skins for catching out OT Gator, and hopefully they're able to actually punish it.
Looks like they're going to drop down some wards, so they will spot that there was an invasion on the other side. They will spot where the Mordekaiser is starting. So both junglers most likely going to at least have an idea as to where the other is. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Olaf doing a little bit of chip damage, trying to find maybe a little bit more of an engage, does force the Renekton off the way. Wow, is just zoning them away. Agu is going to have a hard time dealing with that situation.
Renekton actually had to start E during that too, so he has like no way of even getting any CS at this point. Olaf is doing a really good job of zoning Renekton, and knowing how Briz has played and during the early moments of the season, he is going to take that advantage like real far.
Small advantage, but paying off big. So picking a little bit of chunk is able to back away. Is going to probably heal up pretty nicely if they're able to get some more Qs down on the Soraka. Great zoning again in that top lane. Let's see how long it can last. Sparks gets some good chip back on mid too easy, but he's getting a little bit punished for it.
We do see the Doran shield start from Yasuo, as we expected, and I assume the Eos is going second win, so Yasuo's fine with taking these smaller trades, especially with the fleet footwork. So, nothing too worried about it. It's really just trying to figure out how he can burn Corki's mana before he's forced back. And it looks like the wave is going to be shoving back into mid too easy shortly. Sparks is still looking for trading, but nothing too impactful at the moment. And everyone's kind of just farming well, aside from Agu, who got zoned off super hard.
Still struggling with that. We do see junglers run into each other here, but the Olaf is actually able to come down and help. That's going to make things
OT Gator actually got it.
Also, there's the engage. They do flash. They get the stun, but they do not get the Mordekaiser. Is able to retreat. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, looks like a bit of a scuffle. They will walk away safe.
Yeah, Elise actually stole the blue buff, so Mordekaiser's time is being heavily wasted right now. Elise is taking the Gromp as well, so Mordekaiser
Early
doesn't have
fight. This is where the Renekton starts spiking. Is gonna force, is gonna force that top laner to back off a little bit. So great play by Agu, recognizing where the advantage was. Briz will now back off, have to back, and now it's the Renekton who's got the push advantage. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, we do see the attempted gank coming through here. Sparks is awfully low. Ray manages to get out. There's the engage onto mid. He'll go ahead and pop the heal to keep him alive a little bit longer. Ray's trying to go for it. First blood to Soraka as Soap picks it up.
That was crazy close. Sparks tried to do a, I believe it's a Beyblade. I don't really remember the Yasuo turns, but he tried to do that on top of mid too easy, but mid too easy.
Renekton gonna get silenced up, looking for the stun. A lot of damage coming out onto OT Gator. Will repel to safety. Agu gonna take a good amount of chip. Oh my goodness, almost turns it around. Will just barely survive the undertow. Meanwhile, Sparks caught in a bad situation in a 1 versus 1. Does have the minions, but does not have the damage. Mid too easy will pick up the kill.
This game is only 5 minutes in, and there's been so much action happening around the map. OT Gator's doing his, main game plan of trying to get as leads as fast as possible. Yeah, as you can see, mid too easy.
Look at how low he gets. Look at how low he gets.
Dude.
Soap is barely keeping him alive through all of that, and he just barely gets away. Great play by Soap to be able to sustain that Corki just long enough to get him out of danger.
Yeah, it's well played from Soap. making sure to keep Mid 2 Easy alive as long as possible so that or Akko and Sparks don't get any extra gold.
It's not often we see an enchanter support get first blood, but honestly, I'm all for it. It's great to get the power spike on those supporting units, even if you would probably rather have them on a carry.
The Aeonium Boots purchase is pretty interesting. I don't think it's bad because it does let Soraka spam heals and Q more often. And because of having boots early, it makes it super hard for the Mordekaiser and Smolder to actually like catch up to Fighter. And it also helps with roaming more than the other laners too. So it's a very
Wait.
cheap 1,000 gold option, but we'll see where that advantage goes.
Oh, another engage here from the Yasuo, trying to get some chunk damage out, but this Corki is putting down just enough hurt. Also has that fleet footwork for the extra healing and can fight a lot more safely from a range. Elise is up there on those Void Breaths. We're going to see the first one get taken away. Looks like Mordekaiser is aware and in the area.
Yeah, but it's not a lot that Mordekaiser can do right now. It is an Aether Wisp over an Amp Tome advantage on Elise right now. And because of how the lane's looking right now, it's going to be super difficult for Agu to actually help with the grubs. Not that they're there anymore, because OT Gator cleared all of them.
Agu maybe going a little bit aggressive, keeps him going for the undertow. Briz is in a rough spot, very low health, pops a potion and will stay alive, but is forced to back away. OT Gator on the sidelines, lands the stun, gets the engage. There's the Dominus to try and keep Renekton alive. He will go down, threat detected, picks up the kill.
OT Gator is going crazy this game right now. And I especially like that Briz rushed the Bramble Vest because of how often
Hold
taking
on.
a trade.
Last breath, pops in, but mid too easy, just W's out of it. It's gonna back away. Ultimate used up, will not have that available.
Lots of trading going on. Briz
Oh, no.
might
Not
have overstayed
again.
actually.
Briz, buddy, you don't have your undertow available anymore. Gonna take a ton of damage. You do not want those longer fights with the Renekton and the Conqueror, especially in those early stages of the game. I do like the Bramble Vets, but it means that you sacrifice a lot of damage on your abilities.
The sun didn't hit him.
Good silence. Not gonna be able to pick up the kill, and then Akka is gonna come on through and block a few shots. Just back away. Mordekaiser not really finding any gank opportunities this early on.
Yeah, Mordekaiser jungle is in a really weird situation in my opinion because his only gap closer is his E. And outside of that, with how much self-peel all of Cyberbullies has, besides,
Oh
Olaf,
no, Sparks! Biting off more than you can chew, buddy. Does not find the Steel Tempest. OT Gators around the side. They flash in. They're gonna go for the tower dive. Sparks is so low. Does get the barrier up. Oh my goodness. Sliver of HP. Someone better get me the details on how low that was after the game. Looks like OT Gator will be forced to back away. Does have a low health bar from that attempted tower dive. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, Ragnarok gets popped, but here comes Array around the side. He is CC immune, so they cannot get the stun. Array is so low, actually goes down as a result. The Ignite is ticking away, but Brissy is going to back off with the Ghost, and that is a kill for the Olaf. Maybe not the one he was expecting. Meanwhile, Mid Too Easy is baiting in that jungler. Mordekaiser is silenced up, stunned up, does have the shield. Pops the ultimate to try and capture the Corki, gets him over the wall, but gets swapped to the wrong side. Caught out. Great play around that ultimate.
I do not blame the Flash. I probably would have done that too, but also just super unlucky blind walking into the bush like that. I do like Array trying to gank the Olaf, considering he's so pushed up. Unfortunately, he's in Ragnarok and kind of just reset the duration for it, so a little unlucky there.
Yeah, a little bit of supportal combat here, Array. Getting some chip damage onto that Soraka. Not a ton of damage from that Soraka, but goodness, the silence is one of the most frustrating abilities to deal with.
Looking at game states right now, Cyberbullies is a pretty commanding lead, currently up almost 3k gold, and there hasn't really been any advantages anywhere outside of Asteria doing pretty well on his farming despite being in a disadvantaged bot lane at the moment.
Yeah, and a lot of that, like looking at where a lot of the focus has been, it has been on the top and mid side of the map as we predicted. Oh, there's some low health bars across the rift. I'm nervous that as soon as I start calming down that something's gonna happen. Sparks is incredibly low, does find the Steel Tempest, does not take it in with the last breath.
I think doing the last breath there would have been suicide, to be honest. Speaking of
Agu in a
really
bit of a
dangerous
bad spot,
situations,
pops
Briz.
the ultimate, sees the immune, there goes the Ragnarok. Mordekaiser is here, does have the damage. He is gonna take them down. But Akka might be getting caught out, does run into OT Gator on the same way. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Sparks is being forced to dance. Array is there to support, does get the healing off. Corki is going to continue to pursue, because what are you gonna do? You're just a bard. Looks like he's
Oh,
not going to
Soraka.
pursue. That was very close. Tempered Fate does come out. They try and follow up. They are not going to. And then the mom comes through as well.
He's probably just using Mom to get some extra stacks. I don't know how many stacks Smolder is at right now, but I assume he's at a pretty good state. Production says he's currently at 80 at the moment, which isn't bad right now.
Well, we've already felt a lot of this presence from the bard trying to come up and help the mid lane OT Gator. Maybe getting a little caught out here. We'll pick up the ward, one of the two, and back away.
The gold lead has definitely shorn just a little bit because of that top gank onto Olaf. They did get the shutdown on top of Mordekaiser, which accelerates the Rylai's rush he's doing, which will definitely help with his lane ganking because of how easy it is to apply Rylai's on Mordekaiser, but it's something that comes out a little too much later than he would probably like.
I mean, this is sort of the game state we were expecting, right? Where we talked about the Elise wanting to push up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Soap, you're in a really bad spot, buddy. Caught out by the Mordekaiser, takes him to Brazil. Does not have the damage to take him out yet. Nope, there we go. Off of the passive and the auto attack is going to get dropped in the middle of two. Abandoned by the Crocodile. That's probably for the best, as Akka now going to be eliminated. On the bottom side of the map, Linton takes out Array. Sparks is now getting chunked down by mid 2 easy. Throws out the Steel Tempest, flashes over it very aggressively, is not going to be able to follow up because of that wind wall.
Oh boy, there's a lot of things going around in the map, and it's not very Asteria's Kittens sided. It is very much the Cyberbullies putting their name to good use. Speaking of bullying, Olaf is running
Ragnarok
Naga.
does pop it, throws a few undertows, but is not going to follow up on the Croc. Probably for the best, not in the best position to run you down. That is the downside of shoving someone, is that Olaf really does like having the extra room to sort of run at people. Which is the kind of thing you don't get when you are pushing up the lane aggressively like that. We do see Elise coming around the back. They might attempt a tower dive. Nope, they're just going to go ahead and move up through the jungle. Meanwhile, Dragon is going to be taken on this bottom side. It doesn't look like there's anyone down there to contest. They do catch the Elise on the back side, so they know they're coming. Array in a rough spot. Does throw out the slow onto Soap. Soap at about 2/3 health. They do pick up the Dragon, going to retreat. Oh no, that's a bad place to put your portal. Tempered Fate does come out and catch two. There's the mom through the backside.
Oh, the last breath.
Finds one. That's huge. Sparks now is going to go ahead and pick up OT Gator. They pick up a second one. Shutdown goes over to the Smolder, and it's just Soap here. Oh, Super Mega Death Rocket catches him on the backside. Great job by Lloyd 10.
And that is the Collector Jinx coming in clutch, especially since Yasuo has no armor for that. So that was a huge kill. Definitely a great play on
Look at
for
this
Asteria's
Tempered
Kittens,
Fate.
though.
That's
Yeah, that was
beautiful.
so...
Completely missed the Mordekaiser. Perfectly timed with the last breath and the bomb. And then the follow-up here, Sparks just barely getting away, and we don't get to see the follow-up because immediately we're going into another fight. Brissy pops the Ragnarok into the Dominus. Agu is not going to be able to follow up on the kill either. Both of them get some healing, but it's OT Gator who's the jungler in the area. Agu's going to get caught out and eliminated.
So just FYI, it's Briz and not Brissy. They're two different
Brissy?
people.
Briz and Brissy? Okay, thank you for the clarification there.
Yeah, but yeah, Riz is like running down Agu as we probably expected. He does have the stride breaker already, and it's really good into Renekton because once the slice and dice, or not the slice and dice, whatever his E is, uh, once that's gone, Renekton doesn't really have a way of running around.
No,
So
you're right.
a
It's
lot.
slice and dice.
Oh, it is slice and dice. Okay.
Yeah, slice and dice.
Uh,
Last I checked.
yep.
Someone can correct me if I'm wrong.
But regardless, Renekton doesn't really have a
There
way
we
for
go.
running around,
Thank
and
you.
OT
Thank you,
Gator
production.
too.
Slice and dice.
Yeah. So Sparks, he's doing Yasuo things, but it
He's
doesn't
doing
look like
Yasuo
he's really
things.
doing it.
Not a lot of
There's
Yasuo
so
things.
much going
Another
around.
fight breaks out. Soap is not able to silence the Mordekaiser in time. Will get caught out in the jungle. Pops the wish to try and stay alive. Will get eliminated by Akka. Gonna be forced to back away. Meanwhile, Asteria so close to taking that tower, does not want to engage. Meanwhile, who does want to engage? This Corki onto the Yasuo. Mordekaiser shows up in the top side of the map. Pops the Tempered Fate. Maybe a little bit of interesting play there. Not the one I would have made, but is going to escort the jungler out. Not without taking a little bit of chip damage as the tower goes down.
There's a lot of fights happening now, and the lead is starting to go back towards Cyberbullies. I thought after that dragon fight that Asteria's Kittens would even it out, but it's looking
Teleported
like more
towards the top
Cyberbullies.
side. There's a second one. Agu is in a dangerous spot, but does have
There's a
backup
third
incoming.
TP!
There is Asteria. That's a third TP on the way. Here comes Sparks onto the backline. There's also a support here. Soap does not have the wish. Sparks will go down to that. OT is so low and Soap is not in range. Meanwhile, Lutan getting chased down by Akka. This Mordekaiser pops a flash, gets the pull, is slowing the Jinx. That is going to be an elimination almost certainly. There we go. Gets the elimination.
This is the League of Legends you like to see.
This feels a little bit more like my solo queue games. Great damage out from Sparks onto Soap to pick up some good chip damage. Pops forward to dodge the Q. Gets healing as well and back away.
Yeah, the double TP for Asteria's skin. The double TP for Asteria Skins was definitely a really huge, turnaround for them. Smolder was able to pick up one of the kills, and Yasuo got the other one, I'm pretty sure. Actually, no, I don't think there was a second kill. But also with, Soap catching out Loyton, who also has a bounty, Akko is just getting all these shutdowns that are just accelerating his gold lead.
Oh my god, there's a
And,
fight happening on our mini-map. We're gonna have to go back
oh
to that.
boy.
No, we missed it! Look at that. 3 eliminations happened. Mordekaiser picked up another elimination onto Mordekaiser. Looks like there was also a trade for 8th OT Gator. Put another 2 eliminations over to that Mordekaiser. Now 6-4-2 on that champion. That is a scary, scary Mordekaiser. Meanwhile, Briss gonna go ahead and go on to Agu. Retreats the wrong direction. The CC immune Ragnarok will keep Olaf alive. That's another elimination. Might be caught out, however, as 3 members of the other side will come in and surround him. Briss, yeah, you're not getting away from that without the Ragnarok. Asteria is going to be the one to pick that up.
Yeah, and Asteria is getting a lot of stacks at this point. I believe production said it was at least 150. I could be trolling, but this is accelerating Asteria's win condition is much faster than what we wanted.
Ultimate going to be used up here. Akka finds mid too easy. He's getting some great chunk on him.
No, the Tempered
comes
Fate!
out, but that's a terrible timing. Here comes Mom through, but it's a little too late. They will pick up the elimination on the backside, but now Akka is having to dodge around OT Gator. Soap is caught out again. Asteria on a killing spree. OT Gator is going to be forced to walk away up against 2. Does get caught out on the ward, but will continue to retreat. Should have the ability to use the repel. 170 stacks is what the production is telling me on this Smolder here. So doing a great job stocking up. OT Gator is in the area. Does get caught out by the Mordekaiser. Wait, we're going to Brazil, buddy. OT Gator picks it up. There's no jungler on either side now as Sparks get on a killing spree. Meanwhile, Smolder does get exploded. What an ultimate. The Super Mega Death Rocket picks up Asteria. Oh my goodness, it's such a back and forth slobber knocker of a game.
I think that Ocean Dragon's a paid actor. No way he chooses a Mordekaiser out of all of the people there to do it.
Look at that, mom through the middle of the team, flashes away but isn't able to escape thanks to a great stun from Array.
It looks
In
like
the
there's another
meantime,
fight breaking out
oh
right
my
now.
god, another fight! Oh no, Soap! Buddy, you've gotta stay out of the front line. It's gonna get picked up by Sparks, who is now 5-2 and 3 on the Yasuo, having a great game.
I think this is looking like the Dignitas versus 100 Thieves game last night.
No. Oh. Here we go. Oh god. Trying to find something here. Does get a little bit of chip. Might not be able to close the gap. We'll
Ooh.
see. Does not get the pull. It was a close thing.
With the scuttle
Teleport coming in
boost!
from the backside. This could get dangerous. Mid too easy is caught up. It's going to be going to Brazil. Shadow Realm. Aka's going to pick that one up. 7, 5, and 6.
Yeah, Mitsu Easy went just a little too far, and unfortunately Mordekaiser was the person who was there to meet him. And with the Scuttle Crab being taken earlier and Mordekaiser not actually dealing damage at the time, he was able to get the Scuttle Boost and catch up to the Corki, which really solidified how strong, you know, Akko is right now.
Through the wall, Array tries to find a target, does get a little bit of protection from the mom. OT Gator is backing away, threat detected, is just getting melted here, even with the wish from Soraka coming through. There's the Tempered Fate, doesn't find anyone, but it does stop OT Gator from getting away. That's another 2 eliminations. 190 stacks on Smolder. Things are getting dangerous as that champion starts building up.
It looks like that Asteria's Kittens are just going to take a free Baron. There's not really much they can do with a dead jungler and a dead top laner to actually try to frontline, so, you know, Asteria's Kittens are going to have to be happy with that. The ultimate tries to go through, it hits
Wind
the spark.
wall. Good play.
Yeah. Honestly, it's going to be real rough for Cyberbullies now because Asteria's Kittens, their gold is on top of their 3 main carries at the moment. And there's not really much of a way for them to stop that outside of like Olaf randomly catching out Sparks or Asteria and killing them. But, you know, if Cyberbullies are able to play their poke comp just the way that they want to, there's also just not a lot that Asteria's Kittens are able to do to actually catch up outside of like a Tempered Fate.
You say catch up, but I look at the Kittens here, you know, 18 kills, 3 dragons, and slight gold lead. Things are actually looking in their favor, even if it's not necessarily all the gold on the champs that they would like to have. Their Nectin is probably going to, now has picked up the 2 lethality items, probably going to start transitioning tank items towards the rest of the game. Asteria does get silenced, will be able to back out in time. But you do bring up a good point in that the poke composition, they don't really have a lot of ability to engage on it. They have been finding a lot of great picks. We'll see how this ends up. There's the magical journey trying to find a target. Mordekaiser does find mid too easy in the back line to start a fight here. This keeps it too low. Well, maybe.
Oh.
There's the wish. That mid laner is so low. Great job from
Oh my
Soap
god!
to keep him alive.
Soap!
The Soraka healing keeps coming. It doesn't stop coming. Great stun through the wall. They do still find Mitsuizi on the backside. Soap is now alone and forced to back away. Meanwhile, on the top side, Briss and OT Gator are going to go ahead and take down that top lane turret. Oh no, Spark's unstoppable. Soap is having a rough day.
Yeah. Getting caught out multiple times is definitely not a good look, especially for how volatile this game can be. And despite his best efforts of saving mid too easy, Mordekaiser damage is just a little too crazy right now, especially when he's isolated. So, you know, great job on Akko for flash death roaming the mid too easy and, you know, catching out a really important player on their team.
Oh, another magical journey engaged. Teleport is going to come through as OT Gator backs off. We do have the Mordekaiser off. 221 smolder stacks, ladies and gentlemen, and those of you who know better, we are almost there. Akka is going to be forced to back away. We do have a fight brewing here as Array tries to find a little bit of lockdown on Mitsuizi. We'll take a chunk. Meanwhile, on the back lines, OT Gator tries to go in, or tries to get out. Smolder's at 225. We're here, folks. It's time for the dragon to burn.
Hold the last
Shutdown
breath.
is onto the Mordekaiser. That's a ton of gold onto the hands of the Olaf, but their health bars are burning down. They managed to stay alive thanks to the help of that Soraka in the backline. Agu's going to go ahead and pick up OT Gator. That's another kill for the Croc. Trying to pursue. Meanwhile, on the backside, Array in a difficult spot does not have the magical journey. Mid too easy will pick that up. So it does get turned around. Gonna trade 1-4-2. And now the dragon is up and available. There's no OT Gator, but there's no Mordekaiser either. There's the been engaged. Threat detected. Threat eliminated. Asteria picks it up.
They still have Corki and Lethality Jinx on Cyberbully side right now, so it's really difficult for Asteria's Kittens to walk up once the wind wall is gone. Speaking of no wind wall,
Sparks, Agu, you have no business being there. Dragon is gonna go over to the Cyberbullies. They're gonna pick up their first one of the game.
Soap silence there was actually really clutch because I think at that point the Yasuo wind wall would have been up and Sparks wanted to use that to his advantage to try to zone him off, but because of the Soraka silence, there's nothing coming out from that, and they get 2 free picks on top of their solo laners.
Here we go. Now we're going to be moving into the later stages of the game as these teams are jockeying for position. See exactly what kind of objectives they want to play around. I mean, at this point, no Dragon, no Baron. It's pretty much just towers.
Right. And at this point, the Baron buff has ran out on all the members of Asteria's Kittens. So they're probably going to be looking to either get a pick out in the top river to prepare for Baron, but ideally there shouldn't be too much fighting. We do see Sparks and Agu running up topside to catch Briz, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to do anything about it. Sparks is going to continue that fight.
I'm gonna pop the Ragnarok in order to avoid getting the last breath, but Briz might have bitten off more than he can chew. Trying to take at least the Yasuo with him. Ragnarok has run out. Soraka's wish will only do so much. Can you get to the Olaf in time? There's the heal. Tempered Fate comes out. There's no Soraka to help you anymore. That's gonna be the follow-up. Soap, buddy, you may have gone a little bit too far. Agu is gonna try and tower dive. No, we'll actually back away. So Soap gets to live another day as the mom comes through. Does find a little chip onto OT Gator. Go ahead and repel over the wall to try and avoid being caught out. Will barely survive for a little bit. They do manage to take that around, and now there's some help, but OT Gator is not in any position to fight. Lloydben is going to be caught out as well, taken to Brazil, shut down for the Mordekaiser, and now mid too easy, backing away. Meanwhile, on the top side of the map, keep an eye on the Croc, who is continuing to push forward. Mordekaiser trying to continue the fight. Is not able to land his abilities. Happy Feet, Wombo combo, mid too easy, picks it up, killing spree now on that Corki, and now it's Sparks who's being forced to run away in a 2 versus 1. There is teammates coming down from the river, silenced up, but is able to get out before it roots. So picking a lot of damage. Steel Tempest maybe in the wrong direction, or not the intended one, but here comes Smolder and burn, baby, burn. Asteria on a rampage. Meanwhile, Soap is going to get stunned up against the back wall, buying just enough time for the rest of the team to give Asteria the double.
Yeah, Asteria is scarily strong right now. He's currently 8-1. 3 items up. Like, he's going to be chilling for the rest of the game, especially since he has his Elder Dragon stacks going. So if Cyberbullies don't figure out a way to end this game soon, this Smolder is just going to continue to barrel them over and over and over again.
I mean, it's not necessarily even this Smolder that's the most worrying target. It is certainly the champion that is the most fed right now. 8-1 and 6 on that champion. 4 items in. So great scaling happening. Mordekaiser takes the stun. Will survive it. There's the repel to try and get the Elise out of danger, but still gets caught on the way down. Sparks will pick that up. And now they're going to rotate around to the Baron because there's no jungler to stop them.
Yeah, and that was a really good catch out for Asteria's Kittens. Not only solidifying, jungler getting catched out, but also just there's nothing that's going to stop them from getting this Baron unless Jinx steals it.
There's a ward in the pit. Super Mega Death Rocket does come through. Here's the Mom. Ton of damage onto the team. Looks like the Baron is going to get picked up. It's stolen! Stolen away by the Olaf. Asteria is still dominating, but is not available for the fight here. As
Agu!
the team is split up. Agu doing plenty of damage in the backline, but the Jinx is excited, trying to find an opening to go in. Getting some chip damage, but it doesn't look like these teams are going to be able to continue the fight. No, Soap, a little too far forward. Nope. Okay, we'll back away. But great steal. The Olaf is the one who picks it up, so that's going to go over to the Cyberbullies.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting Olaf to be able to run in and steal it like that. But not only did Briz kind of save the game off of that, but also Loyan just got quite a few kills there, and it's putting him back into the game. He is 3 items, but it's probably going to be way more once he actually is able to reset. But things are looking better for Cyberbullies right now. Tempered Fate comes out.
Temper Fight finds 2, only locks up enough damage onto Soap. OT Gator buys a little bit more time with his Zoni's Hourglass. Here comes the teleport. OT Gator gonna get exploded again. Asteria now godlike on that Smolder. Mid too easy, trying to back away. There's going to be the follow-up here. Mordekaiser locks down the Corki. There is no escape. You're getting exploded. Oka's going to pick that one up. And all of these fights, they keep losing their jungler, right? OT Gators keeps trying to escape, does not have the tankiness to be able to endure the attacks, doesn't have the damage to be able to turn things around. And the Repel is just not doing enough to create a zone of safety.
Yeah, and especially just with how much damage items that all of the Asteria's Kittens has right now, it's, as they said, and during the draft, it's super volatile for Cyberbullies. If one person gets caught, they're guaranteed to be dead.
When people have been getting caught, that's why Mordekaiser was such an excellent choice here. Oka tries to find a target. Ragnarok, his pop. Olaf is doing a great job running into that backline, creating focus, but it is now 4 versus 3. Unfortunately, not quite enough. Mom is thrown in, called out. Here comes mid too easy, does not have the package available yet. Gonna go ahead, looks like they'll just grab the inhibs and back away. Smart call, take it slow and steady.
Yeah, definitely don't push your luck considering how, swingy this game has been so far with who has leads and who doesn't. I expect them to have a lot of gold that they want, especially Sparks has, 220 CS and 9 kills. That's a lot of gold. Same with Smolder. And it's depending on how this next fight goes at, mid lane or probably in the jungle. This could be game for Asteria's Kittens, but Cyberbullies aren't, completely out yet. Corki and Jinx are still very strong, and if they're able to, poke the Asteria's Kittens front line properly without getting caught, they definitely have a strong chance with Jinx resets to tilt the game back towards them.
Definitely gonna have some opportunities here with the Dragon Soul over on the side of the Kittens. The next dragon that will appear will be the Elder. So keep that in mind as a possible win condition here. Looks like Briss is going to go ahead and back away. Does have an idea that the rest of the Kittens are collapsing on him. There we go. We'll back away. Looks like the rest of the team is going to try and back him up just in case they overextend. Looks like they might be looking for it. Array in a bit of a rough spot. Will back away.
I think he spotted him.
I think he dropped the W in the bush and used the fact that it didn't stick around as an indicator, but wasn't enough. That's a shutdown to the Elise. Takes out the Smolder. You don't have your AD carry for this fight anymore. Meanwhile, Oka trying to find mid, but is blocked off by the wall. Does now have the team trying to be the front line there as the Mordekaiser, but just gets blown up. OT Gator picks up another great cocoon.
Yeah, that's exactly what Cyberbullies wanted to do. They not only caught out Asteria being pushed up too far, but Mordekaiser wasn't able to kill mid too easy in the death realm, so there was just a lot of wasted time there, and that let Cyberbullies stack up and kill Mordekaiser, which is a huge issue for Cyberbullies at that time. So
Yeah.
great job. They're probably going to try to push this lead as much as they can because they need to make sure that they return on towers. But Windwall is going to be able to block most of that effort.
Most of it, but not all of it. Do not find the knock-up onto mid too easy, and they're going to go ahead and continue sieging. We do see the Olaf, of course, is going to go ahead and back from that bottom lane. Agu gets popped on the head, but still in a pretty good position at this point. He's going to be able to back up, but here's the Tempered Fate, does find one. Agu pops the Dominance and tries to go in, is able to lock Lieutenant down for a bit, and will pick up the kill. Looks like they're not going to have necessarily the gas in the tank in order to continue following up on that. We'll just continue to shove the wave. It is an advantage that you have now that you are on the offensive against a poke composition.
Yeah, it's looking real dangerous. Look at that Smolder Q damage.
Oh my.
Like, it did a quarter of Soap's HP. And especially with Baron spawning in the next 30 seconds, there's going to be a lot of troubles rolling up to the Cyberbullies base if they aren't able to defend it here.
We don't have the Jinx available for another 20 seconds, but will be available once the Baron comes up. But I get the feeling there will be a fight before then. There's the attempted engage underneath the tower. OT Gator pops the repel, does stay alive long enough to try and get away, might get exploded on the back line, pops the Zonius to try and stay alive a bit longer, but will still get caught out. That's the jungler. There's not a chance for the Baron there. Soap is going to go ahead and get caught out as well by the Mordekaiser, but it's Asteria who picks up the kill. Tempered Fate comes through, does not find a target. Ragnarok will keep Olaf from being stunned up by his own teammate. Luten so low on health, not able to continue the fight. There's the super mega death rocket. Asteria takes a huge chunk. It's not going to be a huge enough chunk to be able to stop him from continuing to push these towers mid too easy, trying to find something. Threat detected, getting awfully low. Just do not have the damage to turn this into a fight where they push them off their towers as these minions continue to flow in. We do see an inhibitor spawn, but he's already got two down. Meanwhile, here comes Olaf trying to do something, trying to get into range, but is not able to follow up.
Oh, the flash!
Ton of damage. Good flash. Sparks turns around. Agu goes in, gets the stun. Asteria picks up the kill. Looks like Yasuo will survive thanks to that Guardian Angel purchase earlier. They'll pick up a second inhib. Do a little bit of extra healing. Great wind wall blocks the super mega death rocket. We'll try and turn some damage back, but I don't think they have what it takes to complete the engage. Yeah, especially not with that Mordekaiser coming around the bend here. Does find OT Gator, gets silenced and rooted. Is not going to be able to continue the fight. Oh my goodness, and now the Elder Dragon is up, and look at this situation. The Kittens are actually very low. They're maybe trying to find out the pick on the back line against mid too easy. It does mean you leave the Dragon open, but it looks like the Cyberbullies are not going to follow up on that. They're just going to push the Cyberbullies away. Who's getting bullied now?
And that's Elder Dragon's going to be extremely huge for the Serious Kittens. They're already dealing way in more damage than they need to, but the fact that they have an 25% execute on top of whatever they have is going to be super difficult for Cyberbullies to actually try to fight them back. So they'd have to rely on mid too easy and Lloydton to poke as much as they can, but you know, we've all saw that, you know, story go, and it hasn't been looking too great at the moment. It looks like they're ready to run up to Baron.
I mean, this could be the final fight of the game if they do decide to take it. Do have more members in the area, but it looks like other members are starting to catch up mid to we can go ahead and double out just to avoid being caught. Go. He's going to be started, stunned up on the back line. Gets caught out, pops the Tempered Fate, does manage to find the jungler. Will it be enough time? OT Gator goes in and steals the Baron! Steals the Baron, will get exploded for it, but they take one with them. It's 1 for 1, but they take the Baron. What a play.
Insane play from OT Gator, flashing into the Baron pit just to make sure that his team has a fighting chance still. And, you know, making sure they have a Baron so that the minions are able to stall out their Asteria's Kittens minions as long as possible.
That Baron buff is so huge. It's going to give them time to wait out that Elder buff as long as they don't take any wild fights. It's going to give them a lot more pushing power to potentially turn around this gold lead. Currently, only a 2k gold lead. Can you believe it?
I honestly couldn't. I thought if you showed me the current game state without showing me the gold, I thought you would have. I would have guessed Asteria's Kittens would have been up by like 5k at least. But this game is way closer than it is. Uh, we do have to note that the Serious Kittens do have a full Ocean Soul, so it does let them live, fights much longer than Cyberbullies already haven't been. So
455 stacks on Smolder according to production.
that's a
Uh,
lot.
It's terrifying. We were talking before the game about how the Smolder in previous games for the Kittens had been having struggles trying to get all of those stacks. But I don't think we're going to see any of those struggles in this game.
Yeah, this area is probably chilling right now. So long as he doesn't get flashed on by Briz again, like there's not a lot on Cyberbully's team that are able to actually like hit him.
I mean, there is OT Gator potential flash from the Elise. Doesn't currently have it available, but I mean, miracles have happened thanks to that cocoon. There's a reason she's still relevant even in the later stages of the game.
I'd be impressed if Cyberbullies are able to stall out the game for another like 3 minutes because of how long that OT Gator Flash is. But you know, with the Baron buff, they have been selling really well. There hasn't been a lot of opportunities for Serious Kins to push that far into the base. I'll eat my words right now though because it looks like they're definitely hard shoving. Uh, Trying to go for that bot inhibitor.
They do have multiple waves to back them up, and it is Sparks going to go ahead and throw up the wind wall. They don't find an engage on rank
Uh-oh.
target. Tempered Fate comes through, maybe finds the wrong target. Mordekaiser actually gets blown up, and now it's Frisk going through the back line of the team. Is going to get blown up himself, but not without taking two with him, including one for the Jinx, who is excited, trying to track down that target. Agu barely out of range. Array trying to escape, gets a good stun, goes through the wall. Magical Journey does manage to get another stun. I think the Bard will get away, but still excellent fight to turn that around. And now you have that Baron buff. We do see the Corki pushing down the mid lane.
That was a
Oh,
crazy fight. Akko wasn't able to actually death roam anyone because of how long that
oh
cocoon is
Agu!
going. But Agu's
Agu
split
is
pushing.
doing the split push. They did pick up all the Void Grubs from earlier. I think this might actually be able to do it. No, OT Gator is going to fall back. Does have the backup from Soap. Trying to put down the damage. Does not have the Dominus. Will get eliminated. Tempered Fate on the meantime. Trying to buy time.
Mordekaiser
And
is
it looks
respawning.
like he is respawning. Will it be enough? They do still have to deal with the Jinx. Locks him down. You can still target the Nexus even when you're in Brazil. That's going to go over to the Cyberbullies.
Wow, that was that was a game.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe it came down to that neck and neck base race.
But
Oh,
unfortunately, Akko or Agu just did not have the damage to actually take it as fast as he'd want to, and that one fight just kind of secured the deal for Cyberbullies. I honestly thought that
bullies in this game. I think without those two steals, this looks like a very different game.
yeah, honestly, the first steal with the Olaf kind of saved the game super. I can't say in words. That was just so clutch from Briz to actually being able to run in
Right.
with a Mordekaiser there and steal it from him.
Just a
So,
random undertow. I don't know if it was even like a targeted thing. Um, we'd have to go back and like frame for frame check out the actual play. Um,
yeah.
But that's gonna do it for game one. We go into game two. What are your immediate thoughts? Like what we should expect to see?
Well, just going off of what happened that game, cyberbullies are a bit of meta abusers. No, I'm kidding. I think what I think Asteria's Kins needs to have another person that is able to catch out the backline if cyberbullies are going to continue doing the poke comp like that, because Bard Tempered Fate shouldn't be the only thing that can actually catch people out from range. And so, as you saw from these fights, once Mordekaiser gets picked off because he has to walk up, there's not a lot that Asteria's Kins is able to do that actually touch Loyton or mid to easy. So definitely try to rearrange how the composition is going to work there and seeing whether or not you can get another gap closer through either like a mid lane mage that has long range CC like Lissandra, or we get something top lane like Malphite or Ornn to do some work.
Well, we're going to go ahead and take a break as we prepare for game two. This is the Summit Esports Premier League semifinals. I'm Glovely. This is Gar, and we'll see you in game two.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Summit Esports as we begin the draft for Asteria Skins and Cyberbullies Game 2. Uh, just came off a really huge back and forth game of, Asteria Skins versus Cyberbullies, showing who's exactly the better jungler in terms of, objective control versus who has way more damage. But in the end, Cyberbullies took the lead in a very close, base fight and were able to secure the first W for the game.
Yeah, these are the Summit Esports Premier League finals. I'm Glovely, joined by Gar once again. Pardon, semifinals. Cyberbullies versus Asteria's Kittens here into game two. Great overall play by the Cyberbullies in game one. We did see a couple of steals that were big, so a real back and forth game. Maybe we'll expect to see that in game two, just from the way the teams were playing so aggressively.
Yeah, I do think Serious Skins need to change up their game plan, but I think overall their team fighting has been really solid. I think them being able to get so many picks in the mid game against a Soap and OT Gator over and over again was super good. It was just they weren't able to actually translate that mid game lead later on to win the game.
Looks like we're going to go ahead and get into draft here. The Cyberbullies are over on the blue, which means the Asteria's Kittens are over on the right, or the red, I should say. I'm going to go ahead and lock in that LeBlanc ban that's been perma-banned against Array for pretty much the entire season. Aurora banned out on the other side, so currently mirroring what happened last game. Bard actually going to be locked away. That's an interesting choice. I thought it was a good pick, but maybe not ban worthy. Aurelia going to be picked up on the other side. There's the Mordekaiser. Good call there. It was a terror in that game
Yeah, I think
on the
the Bard was
Morgan.
mainly an annoyance because of how much catch potential there was and how much it shuts down like because if the tempered fate is played right, like Olaf ultimate just runs out because he can't hit anybody on the enemy team. But we see the Oriana lock in immediately from Cyberbullies. So it's definitely looking like Mid Easy wants to play towards these team fight comps. Maybe we'll see a Jarvan or a Sejuani on OT Gator, although that doesn't really sound like his play style to begin with. But
I mean,
we'll see where it goes from there.
we did talk about the Orion and the two of us during the break, being a great champion that could come out in terms of that team fighting capability to find picks. Smolder going to be picked up. Um, that's going to go ahead and go over to the Cyber Bullies this time. Loyton going to be happy to have that champion. I suppose it could go to mid to easy as well. Um,
Cyberbullies are blue.
Pardon, Cyberbullies are blue. So that is going to go back to Asteria, who had a great game on the Smolder, even if it wasn't a victory. Udyr going to be picked up. Was banned last
Ooh.
time, and I guess now we'll see why.
I think Udyr's is a really solid and simple champion, especially, Phoenix Stance helps run down people for the rest of the team. And with how good, like, general tank items are, especially Abyssal Mask, like, it's kind of ridiculous how strong that item is, but it's just super situational. I think Udyr
Oh,
is able to fight a lot of the top junglers. We do see the Vi going out
I
for
mean,
Cyberbullies.
you want a champion who can pick out a target, lock them down, and guarantee an engage. Vi is the perfect girl for the job. That ultimate is the stuff of an 80 carries nightmares and can not really be stopped by just about anything. I've seen it. I've seen a Tom Kench manage to stop it temporarily, and that's about it.
Yeah, honestly, the Vi's really good here, especially to catch out Smolder, who if they try to flap away, it's just like the Zeri matchup, like Vi's just gonna follow them over the wall if that happens. And we see Loyton on the Jinx again. Really
Yeah,
strong
Popo
showing from
versus
last
Sue.
game. Yeah, I think the Jinx is a solid pick here, considering how well Loyton played it last game. So, maybe we'll see him smurf on it again. And hopefully, Asteria's Kittens have a way to play against that. It looks like they're willing to steal the Corki away this time.
Yeah, I mean it's just a great mid lane pick. It's always going to be safe. It does a ton of damage, especially in the middle stages of the game. Like It's just an overall good champion to have, especially if we're going to run a more poke-based composition. We're going to start seeing some champions get banned out. Looks like the Leona is being hovered. We did see that get banned last time. Lulu actually is going to be the ban. Swap that over.
Lulu, interesting. Well, actually, no, that was from the last draft too. They banned Leona and Lulu, which are really simple champions for uh, Soap to actually pick up. And since they want to try to hyper carry Luton as much as possible, it's just, you know, Lulu's free.
Pretty,
And it looks
pretty.
like they're gonna ban out Agu's Aatrox again, which if you've seen any of the early season games, like Agu was going crazy on the Aatrox. So a really good choice to make sure that he doesn't get that again.
Probably a smart ban. Leona is going to be the other one, and Camille is now being hovered. That is just such a difficult top laner to play around. Probably a good thing to ban her away. Picks are now going to go over to the Kittens. See exactly what they want. I'd like to see a little more bulk personally, but who knows if we'll actually see a top laner Morgana. I was talking about this. There we go. If you want catch potential, that Dark Binding lasts forever and has absurd range.
I'm still a little hesitant on Morgana. Okay, I think Morgana's good here because it blocks Oriana's command shockwave and it also blocks the Vi Assault and Battery from actually doing too much to annoy the enemy or Serious King's backline, which has been the issue from last game where if Asteria got caught out, he was just like locked down forever. I'm just I'm still hesitant on Morgana in general, but who's to say? I'm probably just a hater.
We'll find out for sure. It looks like Senna's going to go ahead and get locked in on the other side. Very strong champion right now. Still very vulnerable at being caught out. But does a ton of damage for a support. Cassante is being hovered for that top lane position. The tank skirmisher, a very popular pick. Like they will go ahead and lock that in. One more champion available, most likely going to be in that top lane role.
Maybe we see a Garen. Garen is a
I
pretty good
don't.
Cassante counter, so is Poppy.
I
And
do
it
love the
does
Garen.
also
I do love the Poppy. I love the Cho'Gath. Gragas seems a lot more
Gragas.
likely to me. Gragas, the big bulky dude. There we go. It gives you a lot more bulk, a lot more ability to peel for your team. I personally really like the pick, even if it's not necessarily a strong lane matchup.
I mean, I think Gragas is really good. I wouldn't say it's as good as Poppy into this comp, especially to deny Cassante and Vi from getting on top of Smolder, but I think the Gragas is able to disrupt the Cyberbullies backline a lot, and depending on how he's building, he might be able to just one-shot the Enchanter Senna or the Jinx if they get a pick. It also is pretty strong in the Cassante just because Cassante doesn't really have a way of catching up to Gragas, unless like Gragas mistimes his E. But I think it's going to be a really Graga's favored top lane, and that's kind of what he wants right now because top lane was super volatile last game, and if Agu's behind, it's not too great.
Yeah, we did see a lot of troubles with that Redact. I mean, it's an early game champion who got caught out really early and had a rough time of things. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes that's just how games be in League of Legends. I don't think we'll necessarily have those same problems here because both the Gragas and the Cassante are both have enough utility that even if they get beat out early, they're still going to scale very well into the later stages of the game to protect their team.
Mhm.
Um, so overall, great picks for both top laners. But of the two teams, like which one are you looking at having the better draft here?
That's a good question. I like the Vi Oriana combo that Cyberbullies is going for. I think that's a really strong, especially for how much range it's able to be covered from, a super safe distance. I do think that the Asterius Kitten draft is a lot better now since they have more of an identity of being able to poke and pick as best as they can. But it's the same problem that Cyberbullies might run into last time where they don't have a lot of front line to defend from all the engages that Cyberbullies has. But early game predictions don't really matter because as you saw, mid to late game was a back and forth, and anybody can win. So there's only so much that we can do from a vacuum standpoint.
We can make educated guesses, but for now we're gonna go ahead and throw things to a break. This is Glovely and Gar here. We're gonna be calling all the action in Game 2, which will be coming up shortly. Don't touch that dial. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Summit Esports Premier League Finals. I'm Glovely, this is Gar, and we're calling all the action in Game 2, Cyberbullies versus Asteria's Kittens.
Come on, we already dropped the bid already. It's semifinals.
Semi? Did I not say semifinals? I
I
swear
think you
I've
just
been
said
saying it.
finals.
I
You know,
swear
after
I have
game
it
one,
written
I
in
don't
front of
blame you if you
me.
think it's finals. It was a very hectic one. But
Very
yeah,
intense.
we're back. It's going crazy. I'm Gar. She's lovely. It's game
And
two.
we're both
Let's
happy
get
to
it.
be here. Anything interesting popping out to you as we're getting onto the riff?
Nothing too crazy. They're kind of just doing the whole 5-point shenanigans. I guess Asteria is kind of just giving up the bot side vision though, but they probably just expect that Cyberbullies aren't going to invade. As we can see, Asteria is spam pinging the mid laner, and vice versa.
Ooh,
Some
that
jump must
is
have happened.
that is a lot of pings going back and forth. Mitsui is trying to follow up and get some good poke damage on his Sparks, but it is answered in return. It's one of the advantages of that fleet footwork is that it is going to keep Sparks relatively healthy.
Corki does do a lot of better early trading, especially with the E start, since it shreds magic or armor and magic resist early. Dark Binding goes through, misses.
Ooh,
We see
August
Cassante
is
doing Cassante things.
doing a little damage to Briz. Not going to be a whole lot of response there. But it is Gragas does have some pretty good sustain. We also saw Dark Binding land on the bottom side of the map, but not any follow-up onto it. It's going to be pretty calm pretty early on, I hope, for the sake of my poor voice. So anything interesting that you find about the jungle pathing is folks are just kind of poking around and feeling each other out?
Not really. Both of them are playing for top to bot, so they definitely want to try to see if they can get some sort of bot play going. Sparks is taken down really low.
Ooh, forced to jump away. We'll be able to survive right as the Vi was coming out of the darkness. Soap took a lot of damage after getting bound up as well.
Sparks did have the burn flash though.
We'll be safe here. So Sparks burn slash, no eliminations either way. Does mean that you're going to be a little bit more vulnerable in that mid lane position, but it is still the Corki do still have the W. That actually tank on the way through that damage. Dodges the body slam, great dodge. Barrel still finds a target, takes some great damage, gets knocked up. Right back away. Bit of drunken rage and heals himself up off with the passive.
Nothing too crazy. Akko gets hit by the traps, but not a lot of damage is going to be able to follow it out, especially with the enhanced Phoenix stance going out. Dark Binding does land, and OT Gator's wrapping around on Array.
Oh, here comes Vi putting a lot of damage down. There's the 3 hits. There's the first blood to the jungler. OT Gator is going to be pleased to have a little bit more gold to start things off, and we don't even have any ultimates yet.
That's the OT Gator game plan. If you don't get an early kill in 5 minutes, it's GG's. But they're still playing it out, and I think OT Gator's going to be happy with that situation. I'm a little miffed on why Array continued to walk up there since they did. I thought they spotted out Vi when Udyr walked up through the tri-bush, but I guess not. And both scuttles do end up going towards Akko, which is a good XP lead, but who really needs XP when you get a first blood on your jungler?
Ooh, good knockback into the tower. Takes the tower shot. Not going to be able to turn things around. Meanwhile, Root in the mid lane. Great Dark Binding. Does not find it thanks to that flash.
Yeah, Mitsuizi's probably happy about that, even if it's a little annoying to have 3 people in your lane that early, but not having to worry about a kill and having TP up when the wave is shoving into you is going to be a really good spot for him.
Very safe. Does commit the TP. There we go. Gets back to lane. Briz is going to take... is taking quite a bit of damage. Looks like Agu will back away. Use this opportunity to head back to base, pick up first back. Or second back, actually, because he does have that in tier.
I will say Akko did have the burn early teleport, and he's really behind in CS because of it. Sante's sitting like... That is... Hold on, that's at least 4 or 5 waves worth of minions like on top of Gragas right now. So Briz is going to be in a really happy spot, and he does TP back to make sure that he can have the top wave bounce back into him and make it kind of bad for Gragas to actually stay. So, you know, Briz is putting a lot of work in making sure that Agu's behind again.
Well, see if he's able to maintain that. Looks like the Void Grubs and the first dragon have spawned into the game. Neither team going to be making moves towards it this early on, but we do see some movement up towards that mid lane as supports and junglers are here. Mitsuizi dodges out the Dark Binding, is going to get stunned up, followed up. Who's going to pick up the kill? Nobody actually. Soap comes in to help. This managed to use the damage and a little bit of rooting to keep his Orianna alive. There's the heals. Here comes Cassante down from the top lane. Array
all
gets
out.
caught in the all-out. Sparks now trying to follow up. Luiten's gonna cut them off. Sparks will go down. Double kill to this Cassante. That is a very scary top laner to face.
And that is definitely not what Asteria's Kittens want right now, having Array and Sparks getting killed super early in the game. Briz is already doing a lot of... Oh, that was a nice flash.
Good
But
flash.
Briz is doing a lot of work top lane, making sure that Agu doesn't have anywhere close to the amount of gold that he has currently. And that double kill mid lane just makes it so much worse. Mom does come out not able to hit anyone with that.
He's unstoppable, uses that to block body slam, but who's gonna stop anyone from stopping Soap? Caught by a Dark Binding, and Asteria takes the elimination.
Ow. Oh, Soap. We're gonna have to talking about that.
Soap is just having a rough time of things. It's okay. Everybody has days like that, you know? You see Briz taking a lot of damage, exploding cask. Unstoppable is going to keep him from being shoved out too far, but the Gragas gets a nice body slam. Does dodge away from the barrel.
Gragas is still doing quite a bit of damage despite being like 200 gold behind. The Merc Shreds does come out, and if you ever listen to Gragas' extraordinaire, Sloppy Walrus, he says that buying Merc Shreds in the Gragas is might as well be an FF because it is so much harder to do anything against Merc Shreds as Gragas. But hopefully Agu's able to pull out somehow. We do see an early fight against Grubs. Mitsuizi does pick out Akko, and another kill goes out onto Sparks.
OT Gator is going to pop the ultimate for that one. It is just Agu alone, forced to back away. They're going to go ahead and trade over those Void Grubs. Great collapse there. Go ahead and pick that up. Great collapse from the Cyberbullies.
Yeah, I think Akko definitely wanted to try to get some sort of objective control going because...
Hooray,
the Dark Binding hit!
Dark Binding, yeah, it slipped through those minions. You're surprised at how small that hitbox is, aren't you? As Luiten putting a lot of damage down onto the support. Great block, does get the Dark Binding onto Luiten to keep Asteria alive. Meanwhile, up in the top side, Agu is getting bullied underneath the tower. But Briz might be the one who's bitten off more than he can chew as the jungle comes out. Aka gonna turn things around. There's the all out. Does survive. Agu picks up the kill. Now the Gragas is gonna have opportunities to start turning things around. Meanwhile, in the bottom side of the map, here comes Mom! Soap gets exploded as Sparks will go underneath the tower. Does not have quite enough damage to kill.
Mr. Bomba himself has arrived. And it does get a free kill for, Briz, who was unfortunately overpushed, but there's only so much he can do in that situation. But on the other sides of the map, like, they're doing extremely well for Cyberbullies. So all the small gold differences are helping at least to try and catch up with the gap for Asteria's Kittens, but if it goes like last game, at least for the early parts, Cyberbullies might be able to take this lead and roll over them.
See exactly what that is going to result in. There is still scaling available on both sides of the map, so like you said earlier, we can't use the early game to determine who will win, especially not with how back and forth that last series was. We do have junglers are going to meet on the bottom side of the map. Asteria up against Luiten is caught out. Meanwhile, there's a body slam in the top side of the map. And here comes the real fight. Dark Binding finds Soap caught out again. Oh, meanwhile, great exploding cask. Does not quite put him in range of the tower, but is still getting a lot of great damage out of this whole trading situation. Gonna lose
And the
some
Gragas
enemies
pick is
out.
actually doing much better than I thought when behind. Cassante still has 2 kills up, but it's not looking as bad. Dark Binding and the
Oh
Morgana
no!
ultimate come out.
Yeah, the Chains of Corruption will go ahead and lock them down. Asteria will pick up the elimination. Just as Dragon is spawning, that feels bad as a jungler. They're gonna have to go ahead and give that up to Akka. Ray will back up here, but they already have the priority on the jungle. Without any junglers, that's gonna be first Dragon.
Yeah, that was a great pick from Array. Okay, I guess I'm reformed now. Morgana's super
Oh
OP
no,
here.
eating your words! Soap gets caught out again, buddy. You gotta realize that this isn't. Oh my goodness! And in the mid lane, mid too easy. He's gonna use the shockwave, pick up an elimination there. But I'm starting to feel like the Morgana pick isn't a counter to Senna, but it's a counter to Soap. Meanwhile, Luthien gonna be caught underneath the turret. Asteria is gonna be the one to pick up the kill. Great tower tanking from Akka. Oh my goodness. Go ahead and clear out those waves. Save production, how are we doing on this? Never mind, all out is happening. There's the attempted tower dive with the help from Senna. Here comes the backline. They're gonna go ahead and steal it away to OT Gator to try and get him back and rolling in these series. 102 stacks. Thank you, production. That is how many stacks Smolder is up to currently. So about halfway there to that big mark.
Well, can I get some ones in the chat for OT Gator stealing away that kill there? Oh no, that was...
There's the stun. There's the root. Couldn't buy. Shut down. They're going to give that one over to Array, or rather, Array is going to accidentally take it with the Tormented Soil. Here comes the teleport. Gragas is here. Does have the damage. Will pick up the elimination. Potentially worth it to pick up Briz, even if you are losing your tower. Array finds the Tormented Soil over the wall. Will not follow up onto it. Probably doesn't want to fight OT Gator.
Yeah, it looks like Gragas is going for the Cosmic Drive Rush, which a couple patches ago it did get buffed to give way more stats than it used to. And so getting that kill, even if he does lose the tower, makes sure that he's able to like start accelerating his gold lead. Well, at least trying to catch up with the gold deficit rather. And the pick onto mid too easy from Array was extremely good too. I guess Array's the Morgana main now. Like, he's hitting Dark Bunnies I don't think should have hit to begin with. And
Soap gets caught out again. It's another 3 versus 1 in the bottom lane. Meanwhile, Sparks are going to get caught out here in the mid. There's the Vi, the Assault, the Battery. They're going to give it over to Orianna. Back away a little bit. We do see now that Trio is coming up on the duo. Looks like they will not commit those resources. No Dragon Speed hat, but the Rift Herald is available on the rift on that top side of the map.
Asteria must feel really good with having 5 kills up in 15 minutes. Especially considering how much Smolder wants to have early CDR to start stacking faster. You know, he has the Ionians, he has the Essence Reaver, and he's probably going to start getting into the Shojin. At least going off of the pickaxe buy, so I think he's going to be really happy with the state he's in. He's going to be really strong compared to what Loyton was compared to last game. It is not as much of an advantage as it used to be.
Looking across the rift here, it is just only a slight gold lead to the Cyberbullies, so neither team has pulled ahead completely yet. OT Gator is currently working on taking down this Rift Herald. There's no vision, no real support here. And no miracles are going to happen either. They'll go ahead and pick up that Rift Herald, so keep an eye out for where that gets dropped later in the game. We actually didn't see it in the previous match.
Yeah. We do see Sparks splitting bot lane, which, quite frankly, they want to try to open up the map as much as they can, because I don't think any of the... I guess I'll eat my words. Top tower is destroyed for Asteria's Kittens, but they definitely want to try to open up the map as much as they can, just considering, like, how much their team wants to go for picks, which means denying vision. So making sure these towers are open leads to having more space to start setting up these picks. And it does look like Briz might be able to return the favor by catching the bot wave unless Sparks clears out the minion wave fast enough. Four
Oh
people are going to be out here
no.
for Briz.
This is quite a collapse. Does pop the ghost to try and get away. Uses the unstoppable to get a charge. Tries to all out over to the wall. Is still getting chased down. Mom! He gets underneath the tower. Does not get an answer, even with that super mega death rocket coming through. We'll go ahead and take that tower for themselves. We do still have Vi down. No, the Vi, pardon, is on the opposite team. There. Speaking of the Vi, there's the Rift Herald I was thinking about. They are going to go ahead and deal some hefty damage to that mid wave as the teleport comes in. Going to try and get the smolder here in order to fend off some of the waves. Maybe they'll get an opportunity for a charge. Will they stop it? No, they won't. They still get the full damage from the charge off. Soap is going to get caught out in exchange. Sorry, buddy. You're having a rough day. Array is going to get caught out by the Assault and Battery on one side of the map, and there's a double kill on the opposite side of the map as Asteria picks up 2.
Yeah, definitely 2 for 2 trades. Definitely really good. Considering, look at the gold leads right now. It's even. It might not be even anymore because OT Gator does catch out Sparks super easily.
Oh, buddy, I don't think you're getting on this one. Does have the W, but that's the fault breaker. Meanwhile, they're going to get caught out on a ward. They're going to be seeing that they are, in fact, working on this. You can see the Vi coming around with some help. They are still going to pick it up, so Udyr, happy to have that for his team, is probably going to die here. I don't think there's any escape. OT Gator on a rampage. Meanwhile, Mitsu Easy actually taking quite a bit of damage from Agu.
Let's see who actually kites each other out here, because if Mitsuizi gets the poke on first, he's probably going to be able to kill Agu. But he's in a really rough spot right now.
Raze here, throws out the Dark Binding, does not find it, throws the Black Shield. There's the Mom. A little bit of damage. There we go. They'll give it to Asteria. Barely dodge. Again, another Super Mega Death Rocket. 155 stacks from production. 165, pardon. So yeah, Smolder is rapidly reaching that end game, has that Spirit of Shojin, has the Essence Reaver, has an 8-0 and 3 kill streak, as well as the Zeal now, going to add a little bit of extra crit and attack speed to the team.
Oh boy. Yeah, there's a lot of kind of odd times where people are getting caught out on both sides. I see that they're trying to push a lead in the side lanes to make sure that the both teams are able to get something going somewhere, but I don't think this is the move that they want at the moment.
I mean, this is a semifinals. It could just be a little bit of nerves. Looks like Briz is going to be caught out here. 1 versus 3, not a great spot to have. Here comes the teleport. Does go all out. It is unstoppable in the backside. Cannot take out Sparks. We see Mitsuizi pops in. Agu will be the one to pick up the elimination as Soap comes down, followed by Array. Exploding cast forces low Playten in the wrong direction. Great shockwave finds 2, but does not have enough damage to take any eliminations. Mitsuizi will take 1 down, but fall in exchange. Agu is now doing a great job leading the team towards what they need. That Cosmic Drive doing a great job. Oh no, there's the pick. Dark Binding finds another for Asteria, who is legendary, 9-0 and 5. In the meantime, OT Gator on the other side of the map trying to do something about these towers. Maybe we'll have the option to pick up an inhibitor, or at least going to pick up that inhibitor tower, forcing the rest of the team to back. Let's go ahead and have a replay.
Well, their fight broke out. And they do catch out Briz this time. It looks like they're trying to run down. The command shockwave does catch 2 in the back line, but it doesn't matter because Akko is right on top of Mitsuizi, but Mitsuizi gets the return kill on top of Udyr.
That's a replay, man.
Yeah, like, it's so crazy that Mitsuizi was able to trick and return it like that. Did OT Gator just smite away that red buff? No, he didn't.
Nope, did not manage to smite it away. It's getting chased down, but does have the Cassante in the background to help. With that Vault Breaker, will be chipping away at that health. There we go. The denting flows passive. Doing a great job. It's going to get eliminated with the addition of some new friends to the fray. The Cassante will go ahead and shut down the Corki, but get dropped himself.
Sparks does pick up a double kill to make sure that he gets back in the game. He already has 2 items, but 700 extra gold is never a bad thing for him. The Cassante gold going, or the Smolder gold going on top of the Cassante, I think is alright, considering he is the main frontline for Cyberbullies, and him being tankier than quite literally the rest of the team is a huge boon. He is 3k gold up on top of Agu right now, so
Oh, mid
hopefully
too
that actually takes them
easy.
up.
That's a little bit too much. Chip damage does get a little bit of support. There's the shockwave. It's not going to be enough to turn things around. Sparks on a killing spree.
Sparks is taking that gold and running with it, honestly. Mid too easy did not have a chance when Corky is just autoing you down over and over again.
And like, in spite of everything that's happened, again, it's only a 1k gold lead for the Cyberbullies.
Right?
Like, it's just wild how close these two teams are. You do have to keep in mind, like, there is still things like the wood grubs and the dragons that are in play here. That might be evening things up a little bit. Blue buff's gonna go ahead and be spread across the Cyberbullies here. Maybe gonna lose their red buff. Let's see if they can steal that away. Is not aware that the Udyr is there. They'll probably figure it out in a moment when they see those red buffs go ahead and spread across the team. OT Gator finds Agu. There's the ultimate. Gonna be locked down and taken out. Not any real opportunity to respond. Cassante finds Barton finds Akka out there in towards the mid lane. So it is going to be a 5 versus, pardon, a 4 versus 5. Ray is going to try and dive in. He is going to be caught out on the unstoppable. Ray survives just a little bit longer before getting eliminated. Asteria picks up OT Gator. That's the second one that goes over to Sparks. And these health bars are getting bled through. Not Cassante. Udyr lives is just so alive. After all those times being caught out, he's the only one who doesn't get caught out, as now these kittens go ahead and collapse on the Baron.
Maybe that's why they banned the Udyr, because if you saw, Akko, like, Flash Enhanced Phoenix ulted on top of all of them, and because none of them had their flashes up at the time, besides, Soap, like, so much damage was like taken from them. Like,
Oh, look at this! Look at this!
Yeah, look at that.
Just
It's
shredding
an
the health
insane amount of
bars.
damage, insane amount of slows. Like, there's no way they were able to run. And by the time the flashes came out, it was pretty too late.
Go ahead and go back to the rift where the kittens have picked up the Baron. And oh, not quite enough to steal it. A little bit mistimed. Maybe a little bit later could have stolen it. 219 stacks on Smolder. Everyone get ready. We are gonna get some serious dragoning happening soon. There goes a little help from Mom. Sparks is now dominating 8, 5, and 6 on this Corky here. A little bit of a trade from the top laner and the jungler over in on the right side here. OT Gator tries to find a target. Sparks is gonna get caught out by his own battery, so he'll get shut down. Meanwhile, Ray trying to help out on the backside of the map is going to get caught out by the Vault Breaker as well. It's going to go over to Cassante. Ray is going to add another notch to his belt. There we go. Going to be traded back again. Akka trying to find that second jungler. It's just Agu here in the mid lane. He's not going to try and pressure that up.
Yeah, Akko's doing insane amount of like CCing in the backline. Like, he's just running down people with Phoenix Stance, and it's letting Asteria and Sparks, when they're alive, to like deal so much damage with a safe amount of distance away. So, and as you notice, like in between that fight, like Asteria started getting the Elder Dragon passive going. So Agu's in a bit of a sticky situation right now.
Oh no, it's gonna get blown up. Mid too easy will pick up the elimination, but is not able to get away. Asteria now at over 225 stacks, now has that Elder Dragon passive burn available to execute people with. Back up a little bit. We do see Udyr coming around.
Soap!
Soap is gonna get protected by the timely intervention of his top laner. He's gonna protect him. Does get a little bit of healing. They will go ahead and take that tower. Kittens continuing to pressure this mid lane turret.
Yeah, Kittens are making sure that their lead doesn't go away this time with
Ooh.
Asteria being 11-1 and the Corki being 8-6. Even if Agu is getting, collapsed on by mid too easy, uh, there's nothing that's gonna like stop Agu or Akko from running down everybody since they burned out Oriana ult and the Vi ult.
I mean, it's
And
just a matter of like what tools you actually have that are available to engage for your team, right? How are you going to reach this Corki? And if your tools are down, you don't have anything. Not to mention, like, there are still ways to cancel out some of those tools, right? We talked earlier about the Black Shield being able to nullify a lot of what the Assault and Battery can do. We do see OT Gator going over the wall, not going to follow up. We will go ahead and body slam away. Grizz may not have that opportunity. Nope, will actually decide to retreat. Will they
but
pursue
he's in
it?
a really bad spot because he is getting pushed closer towards Red's base. He does have the all out to
No,
possibly.
it's all out of health is what we're seeing here. We do see the engage up on the top side of the tower. Meanwhile, an explosion of someone's health bar. Soap gets caught out again. Agu on the top side will also get exploded. Um, Turret drops there. Gonna be a little bit more gold for the Cyberbullies as they pick off one, but lose their top laner and their support in exchange. Akka finds mid too easy here. Look at that slow. That's just built into his kit. He doesn't have any additional items. He's just fast enough to keep this up. Mid too easy, not able to escape. Shut down, giving that up to the Udyr.
Maybe that's probably the why Udyr's banned. Uh, I don't know. There's only so much that Cyberbullies can do against this comp when Udyr's running them down with so many tank stats. Like, Leandries is doing all the damage work for him, and he doesn't have to build any additional damage items. He does have a fully stacked Dark Seal, which, prayers that he builds it into a Mejai's, but,
He might
like,
have
he's
to
looking
try and
super
find an
strong.
opportunity to the back. He does manage to hop over the wall with the blast code. And thanks to that, Dead Man's Plate will escape safely.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have, at least with the other side of Cyberbullies, like, they're gonna have to figure out a way to get Voighton into the game, because he's kind of just, like, chilling.
There's
That's
the
not really what they want.
engage. Bomb goes through,
Oh!
but it's Agu who falls thanks to the damage from Senna. There's the attempted engage. Briz does not manage to find Array, who goes golden just for a moment to stay alive. There goes Dark Binding, does not find the target. Here comes Udyr, looking for an opportunity on the back line. They do find the team. Sends that swirling maelstrom into it. Back away. Oh, mid too easy. Tries to pop something on
Oh
the
boy!
backside. Sparks will stay alive by the skin of his teeth, but OT Gator's coming back over the back line. Can he follow? Asteria on a rampage is able to take the jungler out before he falls. Meanwhile, the Udyr steps up, gets all out of the middle of the enemy team. Phoenix Dance will set up Asteria to be unstoppable. Oh no, a TP on the back line. Here comes
Agu!
Tries to find it. It doesn't matter. Asteria picks up 2 in exchange. He does trade his jungler, but that's a triple kill on the last champion you want to see having it. Sparks being teleported down to that bottom lane. Asteria gonna be forced to back away and heal up. No, teleport is teleporting again to that bottom side of the map. They're gonna go ahead and pick up a turret, pick up the inhibitor, and continue to push this lead.
Surely they don't try to end the game here, right? I mean, I personally would, but this respawn's coming up, and they still have so much work that they still need to do. So they're probably just going to try to walk it up and secure either the Dragon Soul, because Cloud Soul is going to be huge for people like Gragas or Morgana.
I think at
But
this
I think,
point, you buy some time, right? The Udyr needs to
yeah.
come back online. We saw just how massive Akka was in this fight. Does ultimately get shut down here. Look at Asteria. Look at that execute damage.
Yeah, he's insanely strong right now.
It's gonna go ahead and be the Cloud Soul. It is just Akka against 5. No Array is gonna be available in the area as well. but sometimes that might be all we need just to dissuade them. Dark Binding does find the main tank. Here comes Udyr looking for the opportunity at the smite
Does he
fight. He
steal?
steals it!
Oh
He
my
steals it
god.
and charges into the enemy team. Now the rest of the squad is here. The Kittens are charging down on the Cyberbullies. Look who's being cyberbullied now. That's going to be an ace as the Kittens storm over the battlefield. I think that might be the game. They're calling out the GGs in the chat as they now charge down. That's going to be the inhibitor. That's going to be the Nexus turrets, and that's going to be game 2 for the Kittens.
That that's definitely a much better team composition that we discussed about making sure they have an identity. And it looks like they want to take a book or take a page out of Cyberbully's book and go for the Pocom. As you saw, they did pull out the Corki for themselves. They also had the Morgan. I can't talk right now. Morgana. Uh,
Morgana. We got it.
yeah, there we go. And it was doing a crazy amount of work. So all these long range picks, along with the Udyr just getting turbo fed, just led to Asteria's Kittens just being able to run down any of their backline.
I mean, as you were saying repeatedly throughout the game, this is why the Udyr was banned. He has so much area of effect damage, so much ability to crowd control with those slows to run people down for his team. There's so much value you get out of that champion and all of the utility that he's bringing for his team, not just the raw damage. Like, even if the Udyr falls behind, I still think it's a very powerful pick, and I still think it's something that we see in our next pick and ban session.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna have to work on their bans. I think the Udyr is definitely just gonna stay there. If I were Cyberboys, I'd probably drop the Bard band and swap
And
it
put
out
the
for
Udyr
the
back
Udyr
on the
again.
field? Yeah.
Yeah, but
Uh,
hey, I'm not. There's a reason why I'm not playing anymore. So
maybe they know something that we don't. Maybe Bard
yeah.
is actually secret OP. We're just waiting for the unlock to happen. But we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break while we prepare to get into Game 3. This is the Summit Esports Premier League semifinals with Glovely and Gar. We'll see you for Game 3. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Summit Esports Premier League semifinals. I'm Glovely, this is Gar, and we're here for Game 3 and what has been an even series so far between the Cyberbullies and Asteria's Kittens, 1-1.
It's been a hectic series so far. Lots of back and forths and Baron steals going across
Three. We've
everyone's
had
keyboard so
three
far.
Baron steals in this one series alone, and to me, that is absolutely insane.
Do you remember last year when they did Worlds predictions? I remember there was a betting thing for how many Baron steals there'd be, and I'm pretty sure it was just 0, 1, 2, and 3 up. So any predictors for 3 up, you guys already won. And it's
Honestly,
not even
I feel like we need to have some kind of like summit bingo for this and have like Baron Steel on the list. Has anyone got your bingo cards out? Anyone gonna cross that off? Or maybe, grab your water, take a drink.
do you think we can unofficially endorse gambling tiles specifically for Summit?
I don't think so. I mean like bingo can be fun, but I don't think it'd be like legal to like put any money on the line for anything like that. We are
It'd
gonna
be
go
for
ahead.
fake Summit points.
We're gonna go ahead and pull up the draft as these players are now preparing to get into game here. So we during that last series, we saw the Udyr absolutely pop off. It would not surprise me to see that band. Both of these teams love to play the Smolder. I wouldn't be surprised to see that band as well. Aurora is going to be the first band here, which is interesting. Bard still, we talked about how that maybe not the band worthy champion they think it is, but it looks like they're going to take it away. And now it's gonna be there we go. Aurelia, LeBlanc, Cassidon. Okay. Sticking to the same three bands there. One more is gonna be available. Smolder, good call.
Yeah, that
Gonna-
Smolder was wrecking a house for Asteria, and I think it's finally time that they should respect that.
But you know who's still up? You know who's still available?
Who?
The Udyr that was cleaning house last game.
Oh shoot, you're right. Maybe OT Gator takes it away. I highly doubt it, but there's a non-0% chance of that happening.
Oh, we do
And
see the
they look
Jinx
like
is gonna be the 80 carry pick.
Loyton on his. Wait, no.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, blue side is Loyton.
yeah. Blue
No,
side is wait.
no, it isn't.
Yeah,
Asteria's picking
yeah.
Jinx.
Asteria is taking it. Asteria is going to take the jinx. There we go. Look, when you title
Loyton's on a new
yourself blue
ADC.
and
Let's
red,
go.
looks like it's
Zeri.
Zeri going to be the pick here. You do have a lot of freedom and a lot of movement with that champion, so not bad. It's not certainly not the immobile 80 carry you've got on the other side, unless she, of course, gets those hyper stacks. But we'll
Do we
see what
see
are
a
they.
Zeri Yumi game coming out?
I mean, it's definitely a possibility. Get it? A possibility? I think I'm funny. Anyway, Corky, it looks like they're going to be the ones to lock that in. Has been a very high priority mid lane pick for this series, especially in the middle stages of the game.
And we see the return of the Mordekaiser, possibly, if it gets
Wait,
locked
wait,
in.
wait. We going to Brazil?
We'll figure out in the next few seconds, but
All right, it's
yeah.
time to play some children's card games because we're going to the Shadow Realm. Mordekaiser's going to get locked in. One more opportunity here. It is gonna
And
be the
the return of
Yasuo
the
potentially.
Yasuo.
I don't know, man. Like, you didn't win the lane against the Corki. You didn't have a ton of opportunities to follow up on that. Like, I don't like the
You're
call.
just a hater.
Okay,
Just
but
like
I'm
all
also the one who
the hater.
correctly called out the Morgana. So I might be a hater, but at least I'm right. Speaking of Morgana, looks like I'm right again because they're gonna go ahead and commit one of their bans to get that off the table. There we go. Talia, another just strong jungle champion taken away. I can't believe the Udyr still hasn't been banned. Alistar being hovered over is another good answer into Leona, so probably a good call there. Jarvan the fourth taken away. Where's Udyr?
Well, we'll see. Uh, definitely, they are spending a lot of bans for Array. The Morgana obviously was doing a lot of work on Soap, and Alistar is just also really easy setup to gank Sparks. So
Whoa,
with the
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Gator's
whoa, whoa.
second
It's
pocket pick,
locked
Fiddlestick.
in. I love this champion. Let me tell you, in the early days of League, it gave me heart attacks. Even now, a really good Fiddlesticks player is one of the most terrifying things on the Rift because of the ability to just pop out of the shadows and blow up your whole team. We'll see if he's smart and chooses the surprise party Fiddlestick skin, which is the best one, in my opinion. Renata Glass going to be picked up on the other side. Great answer to hyper carry. So with the Corki and the Zeri, excellent choice. Maybe not as good into the Fiddlesticks, but I mean, with two hyper carries, you're kind of just hoping that they'll shred him for you. One more pick available. The Aatrox was still left on the table, so we got some power picks coming out. One more pick is going to be available here on the table. Most likely
Oh
going
wait,
to be
Agu
a
gets his
top
Aatrox.
laner.
Yeah, I
Okay,
definitely
top
like
lane.
I like Asteria Skin's comp a lot better compared to their game one rendition of it. Agu's on like one of his main champions. They rerun the Mordekaiser to kill the squishies, and we see the
Nasus.
Nasus.
Okay, that so Nasus has been an absolute terror, both in Premier League and in solo queue, and even in the pro level. Like people have been running some absolutely outlandish picks to deal with it. Even Garen's gotten a little playtime just because it's a potential counter. Like this Nasus is a terrifying creature, especially if you give it the time that it needs in order to scale up in those side lanes, and let it scale into the late game.
Yeah, and it is definitely a little harder into the Aatrox matchup just because Aatrox is able to poke him so far. But they could also be doing the was it Genji versus Hangwa Life? They had the Corki go top lane and put the Nasus mid lane. And I think Nasus into Yasuo is kind of free low to be honest. So if they end up doing that specific swap, uh Nasus is just going to be able to scale with like super heavily.
I mean, it's definitely a great possibility. Like the great thing about having Nasus in that mid lane is that you do have the support from the jungle, from the bot lane, from the top lane. Everybody goes mid, right? If you're up in the top lane is famously an island. It's if Nasus does well, if he gets what he needs, then he'll go ahead and pick that up. But in the mid lane, you have so much more support from your team. And for a champion who needs to scale into the later stages of the game, that's a great way to support it. And if you can get a free matchup while you're at it, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But overall, I think as I said, the Syria Knights, Syria's Kittens comps is a lot better, but depending on how well they're able to play for their solo laners here, uh, Cyberbullies are going to have a very good chance mid to late game of like steamrolling them. But we'll see.
Well, we are going to go ahead and slip over to a break now as our players start to load into the game. Remember, this is the Summit Esports Premier League semifinals. I'm Glovely and Gar, and we'll see you for Game 3. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Summit Esports Premier League semifinals. I'm Glovely here with Gar to call all of the action on the Rift in Cyberbullies versus Asteria's Kittens, Game 3 of this 1-1 series.
Guys, you do not want to hear the really bad joke she just told.
No, you do want to hear them. I'm an
You don't,
excellent
though.
comedian. I have my own show.
Speaking of comedian, did you see that Renata got the first hit there?
Yeah, I mean, gold lead. Slight gold lead. Oh, speaking of gold leads, Fiddlesticks does get a little bit of damage. A little bit of poke. Oh my goodness, the lanes haven't even started yet, guys. Calm down. Oh, he's still going.
Yeah.
He's still going. He's still looking for that dog.
Agu wants to make sure that Nasus doesn't start out with anything of a lead. Which is honestly valid.
Yeah, it looks like it isn't going to be the mid lane like we predicted. It's going to be that top lane Nasus, so maybe a bit slower, a bit less help. Not a great thing for Nasus. Has also opted for the phase rush, just for a little extra movement rather than say like a fleet footwork for sustainability.
We do see the Nasus obviously take the Doran's Ring start, as you said, and like it's only going to be so much that Briz can do early. On the other side, same thing kind of goes with the Yasuo. He did opt into the Doran's Blade Star instead of the Doran's Shield, so you might be looking to trade more often. Which, depending on how that lane goes, it might be the best move ever, or it might be honestly kind of in. But
I mean, I still
that's all
don't
up on
like that
Spark.
champion in this matchup. We do see the
You're
engage
just a
here.
hater.
I am a hater, but I'm still right. Does pop the phase rush there with the E. So Nasus not gonna have that tool available, continuing to push the wave forward. Not intentionally, but that's the downsides of this playstyle. Getting a little bit of poke. Dodges the second Q. This top lane matchup is intense.
The Nasus is got his Q now, so he's able to actually put his passive to work. With the additional lifesteal, Sparks is looking to trade. Gets a knockout, but nothing too much happening after that.
Yeah, a bit of a better trade than before. Phase Rush gets propped again in that top lane. But this time it goes a little more in favor of the Aatrox.
You see Asteria putting some work with the Jinx himself. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't expect Briz to actually be in a health lead right now, but with 2 potions and biscuits popping, like, I think Nasus is in a really comfortable spot at the moment. We do see a Ray trying to poke for his Ares and mana flow. He does get pulled back by the chain. Briz, you're looking really low.
Does pop the phase rush, so will get away safe, forced to back away. Meanwhile, here comes the Mordekaiser up towards the mid lane. Looks like they will go ahead and abandon that. Fiddlesticks was waiting on the other side. Oh, it's rough to be an Nasus. Briz is not giving any room, or Agu isn't giving any room for Briz. Gonna get locked up there. Does retreat. Meanwhile, Root falls down on the bottom side of the map. Soap takes a ton of chip damage. OT Gator tries to come up on Agu. May have overstepped his bounds. Not going to follow up here. Ray does find out Lieutenant. Gets some good chip damage onto him. Oh, finds the root. Gets the pullback. Asteria trying to do something about it. But here comes Mordekaiser. Soap retreats. No one's going to attempt any tower dives. No, Flowers to flash away to get out of the pole.
Well played for Cyberbullies bot lane of getting out of that hairy situation, but it was also really good on them to like try to look for the angle, but thanks with the rotations of Akko, he was able to save the day there. We do see OT Gators on the top river right now. He does have a pretty good angle to try to get something on top of Sparks, but Mid2Easy is kind of low on resources to be able to effectively trade with him. And because of... Oh.
I'm getting fooled by that mini-map. It turns out Fiddlesticks
yeah, I got fooled by the mini-map.
Right corner. Finds Akka.
Oh, Scope!
Forced to push away. They are going to pick up the Mordekaiser. First blood to Fiddlesticks. That is not a champion you want to be having a great advantage. Meanwhile, Array and Loiten are in the back line doing a little chasing around. Sparks is caught out alone, surrounded. They'll give a second one to OT Gator. Unofficial double kill. This is going to be a very terrifying match if he finds the right angles when he hits 6, but that is going to accelerate that pace so quickly.
Yeah. Oh my god. Did you? I know Soap has been kind of like dying over and over again the first 2 games, but like after seeing that flash instant reaction to follow up on Aqua there, like that was sick.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's saying that Soap is a bad player. We're just, like, sometimes you do just get caught out, especially when you're trying to play up forward on that front line. It's rough to be an Asis today.
Yeah. It's picked up though.
Does have some help in the back line. There's the Fiddlesticks there just in case things get a little hairy. It's not level 6 yet, so be keeping an eye on that. A little bit of chip damage going back and forth. Great wind wall keeps Sparks. Oh, never mind. It's not going to be an even match there. The Corki is already level 6. Nasus gets pulled in. Not having follow-up as the Fiddlesticks comes in. There's the fear. There's the damage output. Nasus pops his ultimate. And it's getting timed by the Aatrox, but it's a 2 versus 1. He's running towards the wrong tower. That's going to be an elimination for the Nasus. Meanwhile, other side of the map, Dragon being picked up.
It was looking really good for Agu at the start, but then OT Gator was just able to save the day there by, you know, ganking the top lane island. So props to him there.
And sometimes that's all your top laner needs. You just need that one really good gank.
Right?
But that is going to be the case here. We'll also go ahead and grab the Void Grubs. Do end up missing out on the Dragon, but Dragon for Void Grubs is typically considered a fair trade. Let me tell you, that mini-map is irritating because you can see that
you don't like seeing Fiddlesticks
is dropping the effigies everywhere. We can't tell which one of those are the real Fiddlesticks unless we see them moving around. And it is very difficult to keep track of. Looks like they will find that out in the river. The Aatrox finds it out. Mordekaiser's on the back line. They're doing the tower dive. Leona picks up a stun but does not find the target if he's being hit by the tower.
Oh, tower!
Flash away both of those. Loiten is going to be forced to back away after both summoners are burned. Looks like they will call the tower dive off, but that's a lot of resources to keep your AD carry alive. In the meanwhile, it looks like Nasus is going in. Here comes Fiddlesticks. You're going to get feared. Fleeing. Nasus picks up another kill, and that is not what you want to see as this Aatrox. Meanwhile, a little trade back and forth by Sparks. He is still standing in because the last breath uses his passive to survive out, is not able to do enough damage to get the kill.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Agu right now. With how much OT Gator is spending time top lane, like it's gonna be super hard for Aatrox to scale back because
watch it, they
personally
play this
like
tower defense.
Yeah.
Like this was just
Soap. Yeah, Soap insta Zenith blading as soon as Asteria takes aggro is huge there.
Well, I
mean, then
like
they both burn thumbs.
Well, importantly, like both summoners spent on the Jinx, which is a much more immobile, much more vulnerable carry. And had it gone through, you probably would have lost your Jinx entirely. Right, so
yeah,
like...
Soap is looking a lot more comfortable in the Leona, so props to him.
I mean, I love my enchanters myself, but I can't deny that being able to go ham on the big tanks or just having an opportunity to stay alive longer if you do get caught out is really helpful to have. We do see a little bit of hooking up there in that top lane. But now that Nasus has some items, has his Thorn Mail available, he's sitting pretty here for a while. Gonna get caught out, walks out of the chains. Actually doing some, taking some pretty good damage there. You gotta remember that Aatrox's abilities do not proc any of the effects like Bramble Vest The Wither does not proc the Bramble Vest either, or Thornmail later, because it is not considered hard crowd control, so Nasus does not really have a way to proc that unless Aatrox is going to auto-attack him. As long as you stick to ability, you'll be fine. A little hand there. Looks like we do see OT Gator coming up for an in-lane gank, but meanwhile in the mid lane, Sparks is forced to throw up the wind wall to keep himself alive. Back in the top lane, Agu flashes backwards, has a little bit of healing, but it's not going to be enough. Another kill over to this Nasus, 3-0-0, thanks to the help from OT Gator.
That's how I called it earlier in the, like, before the games even started, that OT Gator's gonna try to put
He's
pressure on this
teleporting. He's
timeline.
teleporting. Can he get out? There's
He's
no crowd
out!
control. He is out despite a collapse. He does lose out on the teleport, so that important summoner spell is going to be down. But honestly, as an Nasus, like, unless you're using it to get back to lane, you're probably not going to use it in the early stages of the game anyway. So definitely a worthwhile trade for a tower plate and a kill. Meanwhile, again,
Nasus is feeling real good. Sparks.
another back and forth between the mid laners. There we go. Does have the W available and commits it. Not until he needs to. Until it would make sure that he's safe. We do see the Fiddlesticks coming down to try and answer. Look at that Wither. Procs the phase rush, dodges the Q. Here comes Leona. The ultimate comes through. The hostile takeover does not latch onto any good targets. Aatrox going in hard on the Nasus. He's just not taking any damage at this.
The phase rush is actually kind of smurf though, like being able to just E auto Q and run away from anything that Aatrox can do while he's withered is like proving to be really strong.
I mean, there's a lot of champions who make good use of that rune for a reason, but it's definitely working out really well there with the Wither. It's a bit of a surprise that you could proc it, but it does do, I think, like a tiny amount of damage. I think it is possible to kill someone with a Wither. Someone can double check me on that.
I didn't realize Wither was supposed to deal damage. I thought
No,
they
it's
removed
not
that
supposed
spell.
to. If it does deal damage, it's like a tiny little bit. We're talking like 1 hit point or something. But all you need is 1 hit point to count as a hit for the phase rush, right?
I thought it doesn't have to be damage, it's just hitting opponents with abilities, I thought, but
Somebody fact check me on that.
yeah. But regardless, I'm pretty sure they removed a bunch of like the abilities to do tick kills, because I know they did that with Trundle Pillar. Yeah, this Nasus is really strong right now, and this Aatrox feels behind, and having played Aatrox before, Aatrox from behind, it feels awful.
Well, he was kind of expecting to get ahead until he got the jungle pressure. Soap goes in, locks down Sparks. There's no chance you're gonna have this. No, actually has the last breath, but is not able to escape. Doesn't get the kill. Agu gonna get killed under his turret. Briz is on now 4-0-0 on this Nasus. Look at the goal differential between them. He's 2k ahead. Now we have a fight here in the mid lane. Akka is gonna find out Soap. Gonna get caught out, but now has the durability to survive it. Hostile takeover unfortunately misses, flashes over the wall. So gets the stun, trying to escape, but Mitsueasy is not doing nearly enough damage to follow.
No way!
Soap is actually getting out. OT Gator comes up to assist. That's the Crow Storm over the wall, picks up 2 eliminations, double kill for the Corki, and Soap lives.
Holy. That's crazy.
I mean, like, you're finally getting off the enchanters, right? Let's go ahead and have a replay of that. Look at how low Soap gets. But the Crow Storm from the back peels the way, creates enough fear, creates enough space for him to escape, and then he heals off of the Triumph stacks. That is incredible.
Leona has Triumph?
Leona can pick up Triumph. And it looked like she healed after the kill, so I'd assume that that's the secondary tree here. It's often really good. Well, it used to be good for the tenacity, but now it's good because Soap is just going to go ahead and run Sparks down. Corki gets another elimination.
Yeah, Mid too easy is on the receiving end now. He's feeling real good about his position at this point. You know, being 4-0 and a full item on top of everyone else on the team is like Corky can only get stronger from this point, and with how squishy the Asteria Skins frontline is right now, nothing's gonna stop him from just poking him out mid game and like one shot people. We do
Cyberbullies
see
are in
Asteria Skins are pushing mid while Cyberbullies are going towards that Rift Herald.
We are in a commanding lead here, 7k ahead, with the Nasus up ahead, 0 kills for the Kittens, 10 for the Cyberbullies. Speaking of Cyberbullies, looks like they're going to try and bully Agu, but it is a 1 versus 2. Let's see if Nasus is willing to commit to that. Looks like Briz is going to go ahead and back away, make sure he has teammates on standby. If he is going to try anything, looks like he'll just, oh, no, gonna cancel that. Does have a little help from the Fiddlesticks over the wall. Nothing to commit on to. Here, there's the solar flare from over the wall, the stun. Goodbye, Array. Oh, the hostile takeover does come through. I don't think that's going to be enough. Soap does get the bailout and Array manages to survive. Meanwhile, on the bottom side of the map, sorry, Sparks, buddy, I don't think you're living this one. It is a 2 versus 1 against the 2 AD carries of the opposing team. Yeah, Quirky's going to be the one to pick that one up for the team. Meanwhile, OT Gator just farming away. Things are going pretty smoothly for the Cyberbullies, even if they do finally lose one.
Yeah, the repeated catches onto their solo laners is proving to be a substantial benefit for Cyberbullies, and with how much of a lead they're creating right now, it's going to be really difficult for Asteria Skins to actually be able to do anything at this point. They could try to go for scaling around Asteria, considering he hasn't really died yet, so he's not exactly behind, but there's still a lot of gold that needs to be catch up, especially considering it's almost at 9k lead right now. So if they're able to slow down the game to the point where they're actually able to get there, that'd be much better for Asteria Skin, but right now it's looking pretty Cyberbullies.
It's true, but even then, like if you slow down the game, you build more time for the Nasus, you build more time for the Zeri, you build more time for all those heavy scaling lanes over on the opposite side of the Rift. Looks like Cyberbullies are gonna go ahead and gather around this dragon, and it's the 3rd one of the game, but it'll be their first. And they have the opportunity to potentially stack up to 4 of these things.
Not too much happening around the game at this point, but you know, that will certainly change as we approach the 2-minute mark for the Baron spawn.
I mean, we do see some objective bounties have spawned here around the Rift, particularly on those towers. That could be a good way to try and pull themselves back in. Another good way is to try and 3 versus 1 this Nasus, who flashes over the wall.
Phase rush.
Does have that phase rush. You're seeing just what a powerful rune it is, especially on champions who normally don't have any disengage like Juggernauts.
Phase rush is a very insane rune at the moment. Like being able to get so much movement speed. The Rift Herald crashing in. Are they looking for a fight?
There's the knock up. Lieutenant jumps over the wall. Hostile takeover only finds Soap. There goes, there goes the teleport into the back line. Elimination does come through. The Aatrox is doing so much damage, but it's not enough in the face of the Crow Storm, which disrupts through the back line. Tons of damage comes out from the Aatrox, but none of it is enough to eliminate. It's just Array left alive. They're at least going to get an inhibitor off of this.
Yeah, they're once again pushing their gold lead to the best they can. It's now a 11k gold lead at the moment.
No inhib. Looks like they're going to back off from that. They do have the Nasus in the bot lane, so they'll probably pick up another tower. But this Cyberbullies lead is just continuing to grow. They're really living up to their name in this match. Let's see a replay.
And yeah, OT Gator got a pretty good ultimate there, so.
Thanks for the analysis. Lots of
yeah,
detail.
I mean, it was I mean, it was quite literally OT Gator setting up the team there with the ultimate.
I mean, sometimes there's not too much to say.
Yeah.
We talked about that Crow Storm being such an impactful ultimate. In that case, it won them the team fight. It's such a short cooldown too. Look at that. Just in the time we've been talking, it's already almost restarted. It's refilled its cooldown. Asteria is alone. Solar Flare does not connect from Soap, but Soap is alone, forced to flash away. Does avoid the Mordekaiser. So resources are being committed, but are they really all that valuable resources? Even if you go in on Soap now, you're not going to get a ton of gold value out of that. It is still a 1 to 15 game for the Cyberbullies.
Yeah, it looks like they're probably just gonna try to shove mid to set up for a Baron, hopefully. I feel like it's definitely a good idea for them to set up for Baron, considering they have such a substantial lead. And quite frankly, Yasuo doesn't really have that much going at this point. So honestly, none of their teams kind of hasn't much going for them at this point. So uh, if they're able to just steamroll a Baron and siege the base like they have with their 6 scrubs, I feel like this could be a very open and shut game for Cyberbullies.
Gator gets caught out. It does go into the Shadow Realm, but has the Zonius Hourglass to stay alive a little bit longer, so will provide a little bit of stun control. Some healing gained back thanks to draining, and Loiten is still in the area. Loiten will get caught out,
Hooray!
but Ray is caught out. Double kill for the AD carry. A little bit more chip damage on the Sparks, and now they're going to continue pushing this. Meanwhile, this whole time, Grizz is just continuing to push up this top side of the map, doing what Nasus do. And Agu is the only one. 513 stats, says production. What are you going to do to answer this? Is the continue to pressure up the bottom side, you lose your... Oh my goodness, did you see that? That was like a third of his health from 1Q.
Oh no,
Oh
he's
my
gonna get
god,
DK'd.
oh,
Oh
okay,
no!
he's gonna go ahead and retreat, but Asteria may not be so lucky. Mid too easy, dominating now. There's the engage on the backside from Soap, trying to survive just a little bit longer. Throws down the shield to stay alive. Agu is gonna pick up the elimination for the team. No, it's gonna go over to the Mordekaiser. But in the meantime, Nasus has just been pushing and pushing and... Oh my god, look at that
Whoa.
health bar. That was the bailout, and it still got him killed. They do shut down the Nasus, but those stacks are getting absurd.
Yeah, this Nasus is going crazy right now. Imagine if he had Stairs Gauge on top of that. Like, there's no way he'd be dying. The
Oh,
Jinx
Super Mega
ultimate does
Jet
go out.
Rocket. Too late to find that Infernal Drake. It's too late to apologize. Agu is here, finds mid too easy over the side. It's gonna be able to W out to prevent any real follow-up there. Go ahead and back in a much safer bush.
At the very least, the fight did result in Stereo Skins to get some kills, which is pretty important right now, but there's only so much they can do at this point. It's a 13k gold lead now for Cyberbullies.
Okay, but also look at where that gold went on to. It went on to the Mordekaiser who's behind, yes. But you also had an elimination that went over to your support, and Array's hostile takeovers just haven't been doing what the team needs them to do. Oh, speaking of things that the team needs to do, Soap finds another target. Sparks gets caught out, locks the target down. Maybe it's Soap's turn to help other people get caught out. Hostile takeover does nothing as they continue to chew through the team. OT Gator Crow Storm onto Asteria. That's a Jinx down. It's just a Ray. That's nowhere to go. And the team's gonna go ahead and storm the base. That's gonna do it for game number 3 and bring our series up to 2-1.
Cyberbullies they went insane that game. Agu Agu played his heart out early, but unfortunately OT Gator spent a lot of time topping to make sure that he wasn't able to play at all. And because Aatrox kind of feels really bad one behind, uh, once OT Gator was done ganking top, like he never had to look back. Like NASA was able to just run the game back from there. And as you saw, mid to easy got ahead like 4-0 within the first 13 minutes, thanks to like a bunch of picks that they got on top of Sparks. So just a lot of uh you know gank capitalizations from OT Gator was able to help snowball the leads that he wanted to get, and that game plan just went through perfectly.
I never really felt at any point during the game that the cyberbullies weren't in control of the game. Like we talked about the early game, like it could go anyway. But but no, like once that early game was over, they were pretty solidified in that driver's seat. And the fiddlesticks was a big part of it. Peeling off the back lines for those fights, the engages for jungling in the top lane. I had some worries about it, but it was an excellent pick and did exactly what the team needed it to do. We are going to go
Uh,
ahead. Oh, no, you got anything more to say?
Come on, Sparks. I need to prove Joan wrong that Yasuo was good there, man.
No, no. Look, if you're
Please.
putting Yasuo in a
I'm
team
gonna
comp
go
as
on
your
my hands
goal.
and knees. I'm on my hands and knees right now.
all I'm saying is that if you're gonna have him in your team composition, you need to be building
Please,
knockups around it. Like,
please,
oh, everyone,
please.
we've been having our little discussion for a while, but welcome back to the Summit Esports Premier League semifinals. I'm Glovely and right, and this is Gar who is wrong, and we are here for game number 4 of Cyberbullies versus Asteria's Kittens. We are going into the next game. We saw a great game being played out thanks to that Fiddlesticks doing so much work to support the Nasus and to jump on the back line. You'll see Asteria's Kittens is over on the blue side of the map, so keep that in mind as we are going through our picks and bans.
Yeah, I'm expecting the same bands for. Actually, wait, hold on. Who's on blue side right now? Okay, so I'm assuming Asteria's Kins are probably gonna look for a Leona ban first phase. I think Soap on Leona went way better than any enchanter that he played. So I think if they play out the bans the way they want to, Leona should be gone or first picked on their side. Uh, they can probably go and drop the because what they had Aurora, they had
They
no,
had
they
the
did. Oh,
Cassin. They had, I think they banned the Aurelia. There we go. That was the other one. So LeBlanc is
I
out, Smolder is out, not a surprise. Cassid and Bandaway is the same 3 bands that you've had all series. What do the Kittens know that we don't? Bard gonna be banned away as well. Again, what a surprise. Corky's gonna be picked up. It's been back and forth on that champion the whole series. Everybody loves Corky.
I feel like if we're gonna be looking for Corki, I'm not sure the Cassidon band's even worth it. Like, I understand that mid to easy is a really strong Cassidon player, but I feel like if you're just gonna be playing a lane harassing 80 champion mid, Cassidon's not gonna be able to play the game for a good portion of the time.
Zeri's gonna go ahead and get locked in on the other side, so no Jinx this game, or at least not on the red side for the Cyberbullies. One more pick here before they pass it back. Got your 80 carry. Maybe this is the point at which you select your mid laner. Ari being hovered. Pretty good champion. Good answer here. Yep,
Hmm.
is going to be locked in.
Is mid to easy gonna get flamed for missing charms this game though? We'll see.
Oh, I hope nobody's getting flamed. Come on, we're a better community than that.
Uh,
Unless Yasuo is involved. But
you are
moving,
biased.
I am correct. You're just jealous.
Wrong.
Moving back over
Wrong.
to the blue side here,
Wrong.
Asteria's Kittens are going to lock in the Jinx. So, yes, the 80 carry goes over to the other side. One more champion for them to lock in. They're going to lock in the Udyr. We saw how terrifying that champion was earlier on today. And the
It's
Leona
true.
has been left up on the field. I'm not sure you want to give that over to Soap, do you? No, you're not giving it over to Soap. That's the Cyberbullies. They're going to take it away from Soap. Make sure that he does not have access to that champion, which is the trade-off of letting the Udyr through. Morgana being hovered and banned. Soap has Leona. That is conferred by production, so Morgana going to go ahead and get banned away. Another champion that I was right about today, because I am doing incredibly well. Darwin going to be hovered on the other side, probably banned away. Very strong. Jungler? No, Camille is actually going to be picked or going to be banned away. Another champion you don't want to see, and Alistar being hovered. Yep, there we go. And that's the Nasus. That was just so terrifying last game. Of course, you would consider banning it. There we go, taken off the field. It does mean there are still a lot of very powerful champions left available in the game. We'll have to see what these teams want to pull together.
Yeah. Just going off draft right now, they Serious Kins want to go back to their game 2 draft of playing for poke, and I think it worked out well. Really, I said the word well before. Really.
Because
Anyways, uh,
either
like
I
they're
because
gonna
either I
go for
need
the.
to change my to move or I need to
Oh, Demacia now and forever as Jarvan the Fourth is going to take the field. Two more two more picks available for the Kittens to round out what you are saying is going to be some sort of poke composition. And I agree. I think that would be the kind of thing that they'd want to build off of this, especially with the sort of pick-based composition that they've got on the other side, being able to. Whoa! Hold up!
Yo!
Hold up! Is that a blind Garen?
Let's go,
No.
baby. Let's
I
go.
love my Garen, let me tell you what, but you do not pick that champion without knowing what you're going into. With all the mobility on the other side, like, I'm doubting this Garen pick. I love Garen, don't get me wrong, but I am a little nervous to see the sheer amount of mobility on the other side. Poppy's going to be the final pickup, probably going to go into, I guess, the
Support.
support role. It's a good counter pick to Leona.
It also shuts down Zeri if she tries to go over a wall, just because Zeri's forced to pop it right up to Poppy, which gives it to a free stun afterwards. And it looks like they're going to pick a Vladimir top.
Yeah, I mean, Vladimir's pretty good at answering to Garen. You do have, of course, the range advantage, and it's not like Garen's really going to be able to have enough damage to kill you outright with a pool up. So, overall, great champion. The answer to that is to just shove the Vladimir in and go roam elsewhere, which, if you're building this it's still just such a strange thing to me. Like, we were seeing them putting together sort of a poke-oriented composition, and then Garen Poppy. Like, the Poppy makes sense. You're playing into the Leona counter pick, but I'm still a little hesitant on this Garen pick. I love the champion, but I know you don't pick it all the time.
I mean, Garen's a pretty solid blind pick just because of his synergy with Stridebreaker right now. And at the worst comes to worst, you play him as a split pusher, and you're forced to either put Briz or mid too easy in the lane against him, and that's going to be pulling out so much attention for Asteria Skins to try to run down the game with the rest of their team. So depending on how they play it, I have hopes for Asteria Skin, but going off of how much of a hot streak Cyberbullies is on right now, like who knows what might happen there. But what do you think?
I think that just the sheer mobility of the composition is going to be really hard to deal with. I do like the fact that they have a better front line between the Udyr, the Poppy, the Garen. You've got a lot of protection for the Corki, a lot of protection for the Jinx. So I think we see them lean into a little bit more of a team fight style, maybe a little bit more of like a ball of death that roams around kind of style of gameplay, which is a very good answer to that pick style of play that they built up on the other team. I'm just, again, a little bit worried about that sheer mobility on one side of the field, and Poppy's only going to be able to do so much about that. We're going to go
Sorry, I got
ahead and it's all good. We're going to go ahead and take it to a quick break. This is the Summit Esports Premier League semifinals. I'm Glovely. This is Gar, and we'll see you on the Rift for game number 4.
Yasuo's got it.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Summit Esports Premier League Semifinals. I'm Glovely, and this is Gar, and we're again calling all the action on Summoner's Rift and the Cyberbullies versus Asteria's Kittens, game number 4. The Cyberbullies
They're
have a
looking to
2-1
invade.
lead. Here comes the invade. Are caught out on a flag, so OT Gator will back away. Not a lot of power from that Jarvan at level 1, but pretty strong at the level 2. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, you're caught out. Is forced to flash. Will back away, but that is a flash down for the Vladimir.
He was just standing there. And they burned his flash, which honestly makes sense. Poppy was spotted in Pixel Blush. And the worst thing you'd want is to get Steadfast charged immediately at level 1.
We don't even know for sure if the steadfast charge was available. I don't think we saw exactly what it was.
Yeah, does
Looks like
Array have...
that's...
What ability did Array level up?
Let's see. It was heroic
There's
charge,
Heroic
yes.
charge.
So,
I thought there was a move called Steadfast charge. Steadfast
steadfast
Presence?
presence is the W.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one that
This
blocks
is
the
why
dash
I
and is
don't
going
use
to
the
be so
ability name.
crucial.
Yeah.
But now we have gone into the laning phase. Anything surprising you as we get all started? And oh, here's something that surprises me. Seeing the Udyr immediately doing an infade onto this Jarvan. Is level 2, so we'll have the flag and drag available, but it looks like he's just going to try and pull those away. No, Udyr still going to try and step up, steal these away from the Jarvan.
He does.
Yeah, he popped the flash. He took a lot of those camps. Looks like Jarvan is going to get a few for himself, and now the fight begins. OT Gator taking so much damage, getting bullied out of the jungle. Oh, the Phoenix stance is just obnoxiously strong.
There's not a lot that either Vladimir or Ari could do in that situation just because their early game presence is really weak. And so Udyr, taking advantage of the fact that they didn't have any vision blocking the Raptor Pit, was able to just steal away the Raptors safely, and so now OT Gator is down 2 big camps right now.
Pressure continues to come out. Great chunk there from Agu. One thing to keep in mind for the viewers at home is that if you get all those armor shred stacks on the Garen, then you follow up with the Q. E at the Q, very valid strategy. And is now using that advantage on the E to continue to shove the waves, and Vladimir doesn't have any wave clear this early on, and now Garen's free to roam. Not a whole lot for him to roam to, but at the very least, maybe he can, get an early back. Probably gonna pick up, say, long swords, probably. Use the stride breaker to continue that pushing lead. No, he's actually going to go ahead and pick up the dagger first. I mean, the Berserker's Greaves are very good items, and making sure that you have the extra spin before level 6 is so important for Garen.
A lot of shield throw poke going from Ray right now, which, you know, isn't a lot of damage early on, but it will stack up as we did see Loyton start with the Cole instead of the Doran's Blade. It looks like mid 2 easy is ready to reset soon. He is trying to clear the wave as fast as he can with his Qs, and honestly, considering it's almost the 5-minute mark, which is the best time to back, so you reset for that early Drake fight, pushing in early is going to be extremely good for tempo for mid 2 easy. Briz not shrugging off the damage that he just took from Agu. Not really doing too much overall, but
neither of these two are really going to be.
Yeah.
There's not really going to be any options for pressuring for a kill this early on in the game, unless one of them lets themselves get poked out or chunked out, drops incredibly low. Basically, this is a fairly even lane. Looks like the Vladimir is going to finally start pushing back up towards the Garen. Using that poke advantage to force Agu back. Riz is going to go ahead and clear the wave, get a little damage. Meanwhile, stun onto Soap, but Array is not able to continue following up on that as Asteria. Looks like they're also going to reveal Akko on a ward. Do not immediately back away. Spell immune through the stun. Starts getting the damage down ferociously. No, does not
the barrier!
Oh, the barrier! First blood to Asteria! Just barely manages to pick that up. Soap also picks up Array in response, so it is going to be a 1-for-1 trade. But it is a support for an 80 carry, and that is huge.
It also kind of feels bad because Loyton didn't do any damage to the Poppy, so it's all that gold only went to Leona.
No.
Comparatively, the first blood gold and XP went to Poppy and Udyr and Jinx, so overall, a net gold gain for Asteria's Kitten went to that fight.
OT Gator maybe getting a little big for his britches. Does manage to get out of the jungle before Udyr shows up. Probably for the best bet. He retreat is heading towards that mid lane. Barksu sees him. He does have the ward down now. Jarvan forced to retreat, not able to follow up on that. Meanwhile, Poppy's going to go up to support the jungler. They're going to go ahead and take on those, the void lanes. Clear those out. Void grubs, thank you. Thank you, League of Legends, for reminding me what their names are. Agu doing a lot of shoving up, but is also pretty low. Taking a dangerous amount of damage, putting a dangerous amount back.
Flash Justice? Question mark?
Both of these champions just restore themselves so easily, right? Garen's gonna back up, he's gonna get that perseverance ticking, and then he's gonna be back within like minutes. Vladimir's gonna spam Q, and just pull himself back up to full health. You can't really sustain your way through this lane. I do like the ghost for the roaming ability, but speaking of roam, Soap goes up and finds the jungler. Alka in a bad position, potentially caught out. OT Gator finds
Asteria!
Asteria picks up mid too easy with the super mega death rocket on the backline. The Udyr tanks up for just a moment longer. Array picks up OT Gator. Not the one you want to see get it, but I'll take it. Meanwhile, Asteria comes up from the bottom side of the map with
Oh!
that beat boost, gets a double kill for the Poppy and a kill for the Jinx, and that's also gonna be the Dragon for the Cyberbullies.
Wait, that was so well played from everyone at
Oh,
Serious
pardon,
Kittens
Asteria's
there.
Kittens. My goodness. I said it with so much confidence. Garen goes in underneath the turret. Does not yet have the killing ability to take down the Vladimir.
I think Vlad just flash keys and kills him.
No,
Yep.
well, yeah, there we go. There we go. For just a moment, I was like, well, he's got the W, but courage is not quite enough. Let's go ahead and
That's-
have a replay of that fight.
Yeah, that dragon fight was so good. Because earlier, Ari gets picked off by Sparks and Asteria thanks to the Super Mega Death Rocket, and having a Ray use the Steadfast Presence to interrupt both the Zenith Blade and the Jarvan EQ combo absolutely shut down any sort of engage they could get on top of Akko there to finish him off.
This
So,
Poppy
really well
was
played.
just the right champion for this composition. Hex Flash over the wall, stuns Leona up, Asteria drops down the roots. They don't have any tower shots going on to Soap, but they have so much damage. Super Mega Death Rocket on a rampage for Asteria. Now, a little bit of a catch out there. Charm does a great amount of damage, but not enough to get an assassination. Udyr trying to lock down OT Gator. Has a little support from Agu. Maybe they change targets onto the Vladimir. Agu actually backs up and away. You're gonna trap in with the Garen. Maybe not the best idea. Demacian Injustice finds the jungler. He does not have that available, but I cannot chase the Vladimir. Such a low health bar. Is trying to regenerate, but the Vladimir does not want to pursue. Overall, 1-for-1 trade. Both junglers go down.
Agu's kind of healing. What is that? Oh, that
That,
was
my
his equipment,
friend, is
but
a potion and his Perseverance passive. It's one of the reasons why this Garen has been able to maintain the lane so long.
actually, now I think, when does red buff start regenning? Because I thought there was like a level gap where you can start getting that.
Honestly, the game has been changed so many times since I started playing in Season 2 that I have a hard time remembering exactly what everything does nowadays. Looks like they're gonna go ahead and pick up that blue buff. Blue buff for the Kittens, for the Kittens jungler at the very least. Same gonna be answered on the other side by OT Gator.
Looks like Spark is trying to poke out Soap, but I'm not sure I want to be walking up by myself like that into a Leona.
Well, it does have
Especially
the
Leona just hit
W.
level 6.
I mean, you do have the an option to get away from the Zenith Blade and the Solar Flare with the W, but 1 versus 3. He doesn't know that he's 1 versus 3, but has figured it out. Here's OT Gator, 1 versus 4. Excuse me, there's the charm. Mitsuizu's going to be the one to pick it up. Meanwhile, Poppy's up on the top side of the map. One threat has been detected. Poppy is a scary, scary champion to play with around all of these walls. Void Grubs are once again going over to the Udyr.
I won't let it go unnoticed. Mitsuizu threw that charm as a prediction for that Corky W. Because I don't know if you saw, but she didn't throw it directly at him. He threw it in the direction he's dashing. Speaking of freaking dashing,
Asteria. Both summoners are burned to try and get Asteria out. Charm unfortunately misses, but the Cataclysm is a huge hammer!
Hooray!
What a hit! Can't believe that play. Ray saves his AD carry through, despite burning both summoners and the Cataclysm. Oh my gosh, let's see that play again.
Dude, Array is going crazy.
Flash. Asteria's caught. The charm comes through, barely misses Asteria. The hammer, oh god, the hammer, and even stuns up the Ahri to prevent her from dashing in to get Asteria. What a play by the Poppy.
Perfect support material right now.
Well, speaking
Even
of
supporting,
yeah, here comes the Udyr from the back lines trying to find the stun. Does manage to get it. Here comes Garen, spinning and winning. Teleport is coming into the top lane. They might have to retreat as OT Gator comes around the backside. We do have mid to easy. They're trying to collapse. Udyr is falling so low. Does get charmed. He is going to go down. Sparks is here, but they're not going to go ahead and commit to it. probably a smart call. I don't think they could handle the 3 versus 2. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Array is just bullying Leuten out of the lane. It's going to be met up by Soap. He's losing access to his AD carry. Asteria, you're caught in a bad place. Maybe you shouldn't be there. Shut down. They managed to turn that around. It is going to go to the AD carry as well, so that's fantastic news. Double kill for Leuten. Oh my goodness, that was so close.
The games of back and forth have returned, baby.
Both of these AD carries are so clutch. Let's see that one more time.
Yeah, so Array gets separated from Asteria, and that kind of started the whole thing of, you know, Soap and Leuten were able to just free hit in Asteria.
Oh my god, one more auto. One more auto would have done it. That's gonna go
Gator is able to secure the Hextech Dragon, which is a really good dragon for, you know, Vladimir and Zeri, since they both were able to get CDR and attack speed.
Oh, Leuten, you've bitten off more than you can chew, buddy. You should have been happy with that. Shutdown is going to go back the other way this time to Asteria.
He secured it for first tower, which respectable. Yeah.
Yeah. Charm's going to come through onto Array. Will be tanky enough in order to survive that. Ari usually takes a little while before she really gets crazy. There's there as well. There's the Cataclysm over the wall. Does not have the ability to teleport through. Great stun through the wall. Sparks is teleported in as well. And they're going to turn this around, pick up OT Gator.
PPP has stated that Array is on a demon time.
A demon time?
Demon time.
I'm not sure I recognize this phrase, but I'll ask later. Vladimir once again getting jumped on. Briz gonna be able to walk away. Did have the pool available. That's such a frustrating ability to have to play around. Turret's gonna go down in the mid lane as this Zeri is continuing to scale.
He's also running Phase Rush, so after he hits a 3-hit combo, like, he can just pool in the slow. Because usually pool would reduce your speed, but Phase Rush just makes sure that you don't have to worry about it, and you're actually faster. They do catch OT Gator inside his own Cataclysm. I didn't actually see that, so...
Yeah,
nice job.
Poppy strikes again. That champion is just really terrifying to go up against in this matchup, and I'm so happy they dropped it. Speaking of Poppy, Soap stunned up against the wall as Udyr continues to chase OT Gator in the backline. They do manage to pick up the elimination. OT Gator gets out with a slim margin of health. Just barely managing to... I was not sure. My brain wanted to do a whole bunch of words all at the same time. Vladimir is getting...
skim milk.
Maybe. I do understand that sometimes it can be healthier. Or at the very least, it's healthier for you if you're sensitive to all that fat in the water. But now we're going to go ahead and see the Rift Herald will go the way of Asteria's Kittens. They'll go ahead and pick that up. Meanwhile, Agu trying to defend the turret. Does have Array in the backside, so this could be a bait. Does come around from the backside. There's the silence. Channeling through, pops the pool. Has 3 members. Flashes out of the way. He's unstoppable, though. Cannot stop the Udyr. Shutdown goes over to Asteria.
Asteria is repping a lot of gold once again, just like the Smolder game from game 2. Sparks, however, walks right face first into Soap.
And there goes the Solar Flare. Does not get the lockdown in time for the team to join. In the meantime, Agu's going to go ahead and start working on that top lane turret. Only has a Berserker's Greaves, so is probably still going to get it. Does have the ability to clear the wave with the E and with that with those Berserker's Greaves, so yeah, we should see that happening soon. There we go. Is going to pick up that turret for the team. Oh, Array finds Luten, uses the Hex Blast to try and engage, but does not have the crowd control. We are now 17.5 minutes into this game. It's 11-10, and the gold is surprisingly even.
Oh, Garen got the whole Stride Breaker after that buy.
Oh my goodness, I know that feeling. sticking in lane that long. It is one of the downsides of playing the Garen, that you tend to build up a lot of gold from staying in lane so long.
Yeah, despite the catches they made onto the Vladimir, Cyberbullies were able to pick up a lot of lane pressure by taking a bunch of turrets. Speaking of lane pressure, Akko is getting caught out in front of 3 people. Maybe he's going to use the Rift Tail to get out. Yup. There he
Oh
goes.
my goodness, there's the escape, the great escape of the Udyr. No, he's turning around. He's heading up towards the mid lane. Where's this charge gonna take you, buddy? Yeah, just pops it against the side so he can get out. Meanwhile, Agu trying to go in, unfortunately runs into Loiten and is gonna get popped there. Dragon here is going to spawn.
Nice flash.
We do have a missing jungler. The Udyr is not here yet. There's the engage. Great job by Ray with the steadfast presence. Asteria unstoppable and is now getting hyper, getting excited. Charm comes through and now the Jinx is forced to retreat. They just did so much damage. They don't have a front line to protect them. There goes Sparks. It's just Asteria left. That's the perfect cleanup scenario for the Ahri shutdown. That's going to be the dragon as well and the ace.
That fight was looking alright, but unfortunately their 4v4 was better than the Serious Kittens 4v4. I did like the early aggression on top of Leona. Leona did get stunned up, but his team was slightly too far to actually do damage. And they did have Jarvan in the backline to capitalize on any positioning errors they were able to make. And with Ahri just getting so many free resets because of how much damage Zeri was doing to, all 3 of them thanks to the chain lightning and the static shift, it was just free resets over and over again.
Alright, finds Loiten, pardon, does manage to stop the dash over the wall. There's the stun. They do have some backup. Teleport comes in. OT Gator's the one who picked up the kill. And the second one goes over to Briz. Meanwhile, Spark's gonna back up underneath the turret. They're not going to engage on this one. Probably not. Yeah, gonna go ahead and back up. Meanwhile, Agu up in the top lane is up to that tower, but is gonna decide that discretion is in fact the better part of valor, and back away rather than fight a 2 versus 1. Uh-oh, may not be given the opportunity. Ahri is looking for an option. Does have the Jarvan with her, and they'll back away. Sparks now dodges that Zenith Blade. Good catch over the wall.
This game is starting to be a lot rougher for Asteria's Kittens right now. With the most recent team fights happening, as well as just how strong Vladimir has been the entire game, they're starting to pick up their gold through team fights, and Cyberbullies are potentially going to be able to run away with this. Ray might be caught out. There's a lot of fighting happening in the top lane.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sacrifice the Garen. That's probably a worthwhile trade. Just to get a Ray out of there. It is a little unfortunate when you're surrounded on all sides like that, but a good collapse from the Cyberbullies, who are continuing to push that bottom side of the map. Emo Plague will keep Vladimir topped off, and in the meantime, they're starting up the Baron, and who's going to stop them? They do see that it is going on, so they are aware that it's happening. Udyr comes into the fray, has the Cryo Phoenix, but it's not the fed Udyr that was last time. That might not matter because he does have a Jinx who is getting excited, takes out 2. These health bars are so low, and it is just the Ahri alive. Loiten on a rampage. Look at this Ahri. Oh, there were so many options. There's the Charm, Spark. Did not quite find it, but he is going to get cut off by the Vladimir. It's just 2 alive now.
Yeah, how did Poppy die there? I thought, but Jarvan got the kill for it.
Our production, because apparently I forgot the word for a while, says that it was Malignance that ultimately brought Poppy down, which I believe is the name of...
That's that red item that Ahri has.
Yeah. Sometimes that makes all the difference.
I swear Jarvan got the kill though, but that's not important. Point is that Cyberbullies were able to return some kills that Asteria's Kittens started out with, and even though Asteria is 11-2, it's still looking really difficult to try to play around it. Poppy blocks the Ari dash, and Gorky picks up a very good shutdown.
Spirit Rush isn't gonna help you, or at least not the first one, and the knock-up from that will certainly ensure she can't use the other two. Now they're settling around on the bear, and they do know that Jarvan is, or they don't know that Jarvan is on the other side, but they've now had that confirmed thanks to a flag dropping in their midst and a pause in the game.
Oh, Soap DC.
Oh dear. So, buddy.
You're in combat with Baron, brother.
Not quite. We'll take a moment and just, take some time to let them get back into the game, get reconnected. There we go. Okay, I did see that Soap getting reconnected, so we'll be starting up the game in just a moment here as we get back to that Baron, the team setting up. So, it's been a wild game so far, I gotta say.
Once again, back and forth. It's definitely a lot more difficult with the current situation. Right now, Asteria's Kittens' only carry at the moment is Asteria himself. He's currently like 11-2, and we're going back into the game. But overall, it's just like
target on the back line. There's the
oh,
engage.
the stream froze.
No.
Combat
It's the delay, the spectator delay. Oh my god, we have to see what happens. Look at that. 1,082 health left on that. Like, if he smites as soon as he goes in there, this could be a steal. I'm so excited to see what happens. Oh my god, he stole it! Oh, they trade OT Gator, but they're gonna pick up a Baron in exchange. Meanwhile, Lloyd10, now with a Baron buff, gonna take out an inhibitor turret. What a huge play. And now he just channels the Baron buff and goes back with the Baron empowered recall. What a steal. This is the 4th steal in this series. I kid you not. 4th steal in this series. Oh my god.
Whoa.
Somebody get Sly Cooper in here, because I think we found him a successor.
Man, that pause definitely... If that pause was right in the middle of that Baron smite, oh my god, I would have been fuming.
Oh.
Agu's getting caught out. Flash is on top of...
No, he's spinning, he's winning, he's shredding the health bars, but it just isn't enough damage. That Poppy creates so much control over the field, but does not control the damage that is coming up towards the team. The Udyr is forced to back away. Super Mega Death Rocket will miss its target. It should have been sent a little more down towards the middle. And now it's 4 versus 3 here. They're going to pick up an inhibitor turret and use that Baron buff to back off. And just in time, too. Infernal Dragon is spawning.
Yeah, this is exactly what Cyberbullies want. They have a really strong top and a really strong mid, and even though Asteria is super fed, Lloydton is also dealing a crap ton of damage. He's at full items right now, so...
Okay, I know it's not going to happen. It's not possible for it to happen. But I want to see a Dragon Steel come from the Udyr. No, he's too far away. That's not going to happen. They'll go ahead and give up the Infernal Drake. I want to see more steals. It's been a crazy game. Let me have my dreams and wishes. Currently 18-20 in terms of the kills, but the gold is a lot more lopsided towards the Cyberbullies, now with 3 dragons on their sides, as well as having taken down 6 towers to 3.
Oh, man. I mean, Sparks is starting to get more items. He's currently on the BF sword, which I believe will go into Shojin. Unless, no. I don't remember. Does Shojin still use BF sword? I don't remember. Anyways,
No,
he's definitely...
no, not to my knowledge.
Okay.
It's like...
Regardless, they definitely need items going around. Udyr is swapping more towards the Beacon Bruiser. So he is gonna
about
push
Udyr, they're gonna get this completely deleted. Lloyd10 is on a rampage. Quadra kill for the AD carry. Agu is forced to back away. It's Garen against the world. And I gotta say, like, I love this champ, but I also know its limits. I don't think we're gonna be seeing another game. I think the Cyberbullies are gonna take this one. They're gonna take 2 Nexus turrets, and I think they're gonna take the Nexus. That's gonna be the game and the series for the Cyberbullies.
GG's Cyberbullies. Really strong performances from everyone on their team. I'm not going to diss Soap anymore. He knows what's up, but I think their team play during the latter half of the series just went so much better compared to earlier in the series, and they were able to figure out how to play around their strengths by getting Briz super ahead, and while also just letting Mid 2 Easy do his own thing by out macroing the enemy mid. And Loyton was the surprise pick of being a carry, and he was just popping off. Uh, on the other hand, though, I think Asteria's Kittens, their Asteria and Array played their hearts out. They did super well throughout most of all the series, but unfortunately, the solo lane like disadvantages that they had were just too insurmountable, and so Cyberbullies, playing to their strengths way better, took over the series. And as you can tell by that gold graph, they were almost in a position where they never lost.
I do want to say, like, just for our audience's sake, even though this ended as a 3-1 series in favor of the Cyberbullies, it was so much closer than just looking at the score would appear. These teams were neck and neck and just slogging it out for a large part of this series. Overall, extremely well played by both of these teams. Sorry to Asteria's Kittens, you are not going to continue on to the finals. Congratulations to the Cyberbullies. They'll be heading on to the Rift finals, the grand finals of the Summit Esports Premier League. But that is going to do it for us here at the analyst desk. I'm Glovely, this is Gar, and we'll catch you next time at the Summit Esports Premier League.
Wait, 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 wait.